Wow, that was a long commercial break.
Average commercials 2 minutes, people. That was less than 2 minutes.
Happy Valentine's Day to
Happy
everybody out there.
Valentine's Day. Happy Saturday.
Moms, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends.
Girlfriends.
Right?
Yeah.
Look what I got on.
Blessed in Texas.
Yep.
Where you at?
Yep.
You better be watching Blessed
Right
in
here.
Texas.
Right
Right there. Right there. He didn't bring me one.
So check this out, bro.
He didn't bring me one.
I didn't. My wife challenged me for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
She goes, honey, if I was to die in a different country, let's say like Jerusalem, and it costs $30,000 for you to send me home or $500 to bury me, what would you do? What do you think I said?
Bury her there.
No. I said, I'll fly you home, baby. You came over and gave me a big kiss. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. She goes, why would you spend all your money? I go, 2,000 years ago, a man was buried there. 3 days later, he rose again. I wasn't going to take that chance. So needless to say, I slept on the couch that night.
So you bury your mother-in-law there.
Exactly. So listen, you know, when court documents drop, right? And we get them from our members. And I look at them like, what are they saying?
Yep.
Right? I have no clue.
Yep.
But you know what I turn to all the time? That breaks those things down to where a guy like me, a layman, will understand.
And me.
Who is it?
Melanie Little.
Melanie Little.
Attorney at law.
Yeah, if you want to know what those documents say, listen to her lives.
Yes.
Because it breaks them down.
Yes.
And she even goes even deeper than that. She explains it.
Mm-hmm. My wife watches every one of them.
So I do too, because I don't know what the hell those documents say. You know, so case law this. What the hell?
I know. It's like they have their own language.
I know.
And then they did it on purpose.
Melanie can just regurgitate that. Oh, that was from this, that's.
Right.
She knows her shit.
She does.
Right.
She's smart.
And she happens to be our guest today.
She is.
Yeah. Yep. Let's all put our hands together and welcome
Melanie Little.
Melanie Little.
To the stage, please. To the stage.
Let's
to the
go.
stage. There she is. Attorney at law, Melanie Little.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to our show,
Wow.
Melanie. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking the time out of your Saturday to be with us.
Thank you so very much for having me. I had the pleasure of meeting the two of you in person not too long ago, and that was a great time. So, awesome. Good to meet your internet friends in person, right?
Yes.
You know what's crazy? Our two ugly mugs just got improved by 100% by you having you on. Thank you very much.
I'm here to help.
Look good.
Hi to your wife. Right. I love your theme song. It's like very Guns N' Roses. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a song Steve and I wrote, I think, probably 25 years ago or 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys wrote that song? You've known each other that long? That's awesome.
Yeah, Steve and I were actually in a band together. I'm a guitar player, Steve's a drummer, and that's actually kind of how we met. And we were in a band together for probably 5, 6, 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Don't you feel like most YouTubers are like frustrated performers? Like we've had other careers, but we always wanted to be performing. Yeah. I find that too.
You know, I tried out for the NBA and found out I was like 10 inches too short.
Man.
So
I remember the time you tried bull riding.
Yeah, I did. That was a rough one.
Alonzo can't stay on a bull more than about a second.
Yep. Craziness, I'm telling you.
So how have you been, Melanie? How have you been?
I've been really good. How about you guys?
Yeah.
I've been working. Yeah. Same old, trying to get ahead in this world, trying to get cheaper prices for everything.
Yeah, no doubt, right? It's going to come down.
Yeah, it should. So I know our subs they probably know who you are. I mean, everybody, it seems, knows who you are, but let's give a little rundown in case they don't. Where are you from?
New York. I'm a New Yorker, born and bred.
New Yorker. Mm-hmm. All right. See, I'm a Philly guy. So.
Oh, all right. How about your Eagles, huh?
Oh yeah, love the Eagles. I so enjoyed watching them destroy the Chiefs.
I hate the Chiefs.
We like it too. I actually did a halftime show that day because
did you really?
And we watched Trooper Paul's testimony. I'm like, we need some halftime entertainment. Let's watch Trooper Paul.
Now, let me ask you this: Gonzo and I think Trooper Paul is a genius disguised as an idiot.
Mm-hmm. I think he thinks that.
Well, the math isn't nothing. Yeah.
You know, I really, Paul, I kind of, every time I rewatch that, when I get a chance, I almost feel bad for the guy, you know?
Kind of. And then I thought, because I really felt like he thought that he was going to be the guy to crack this case. I feel like he thought he was coming in, he was going to be the hero, he was going to be the testimony that proved the whole entire car accident, because they gave him a set of facts and they said, reverse engineer this, make it work. Yeah, I got it. And then he made up this whole ridiculous this whole pirouette theory. And I really think that he thought he had to figure it out. And little did he know that we're still laughing about it.
I know, pirouette. That was a funny part of court.
What I like the best is when Alan Jackson says, you know, that he hit his arm.
Right.
You're right. He's like, dude. Yeah,
right. So if it hits his arm, is he going to pirouette?
Well, he had a whole thing.
I mean, I guess you could, but realistically, it's going to hit you.
Yeah.
It's going to hit you, and you're going to fall down.
The exploding taillight that, just magically, morphed itself into teeth-like sharp pieces, and then all of a sudden clawed his arm in very linear, all at the same time way.
There's a new show called When Cars Attack, When Vehicles Attack. It's like animals.
You should watch it.
Very dangerous. Cars can be very dangerous. They just jump out and bite you and get you. So what made you want to become a lawyer? Everybody knows why we wanted to be cops. Why did you want to go into law?
Well, I wanted to. When I was a kid, I used to go to acting school with my parents would bring me to New York City every weekend, and my sister and I would go to acting classes, and I always kind of wanted to be an actress. And then I decided that I could still use all my acting skills and go to law school and be a lawyer. But then I didn't have to audition because I would always get the part, and I would have an audience in a jury, and I would be able to perform, and I could write my own script. And so I decided to go to law school. I was in college in Boulder, and I decided that I liked it there so much. I thought, what can I do for a couple more years to stay here? So I went to law school at University of Denver, and then I came back to New York, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Here we are on YouTube today.
I know, right? Talk about taking center stage when you're up there directing your court proceedings, right?
Yeah.
All eyes and ears are on you. And now the same thing with the YouTube. All ears and eyes are on you. But you have a little bit bigger audience. Your reach is a little bit further out worldwide. Right. So that says something about your ability, your talent, and how you process this court case, or any of your court cases for that matter. You kind of have to be an actor because you have to sell certain things, right?
Of course.
For us as cops, good cop, bad cop, or vice versa, right? It's all an acting job. Life is an acting job.
And everyone's in sales. You're selling yourself every day, or you're selling your version of the story, or you're selling, we're all in sales, really, when you think about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There was a great show I loved called Homicide Hunter. He was from Colorado. Lieutenant Kenda. Kenda?
No, Lieutenant Dan.
Oh, not Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Kendra. Did you ever hear him?
I don't know.
Homicide Hunter? No. He had a cool show. Oh, we've been watching that show Traitors lately. Have you seen that show, Traitors?
Melanie, no, I've heard about it, though. I've heard good things. Is it good?
My wife and I are loving it. It's kind of like Survivor, but you're in a Scottish castle and they have people get murdered. Not really murdered, but they say you're murdered. That's how they get you off the show.
So it's kind of like Clue.
It's exactly like Clue, and you kind of have to figure it out, and you have to trust people. It's really cool. Yeah, we're in 13.
All right, good. So it's a reality show.
Correct. And I think you will enjoy. If you like reality shows, which I do, though they're not very real, they're fun. They're entertaining.
I like the real estate shows, like $1 Million Listing and stuff like that. I like to it's like porn for people who love houses and, real estate. Like, that's fun.
That stuff puts me to sleep. I like watching it, but after a while I start fading and I'm toast.
Yeah.
I like those videos where it shows like the biggest houses in the world. And you get to watch, so you can feel like crap and feel like, man, I live in a box.
Let me go back under my rock.
This guy's got 1 million square foot house. You're like, gee, where did I mess up?
Yeah, we checked the wrong box.
I think I slept through the class on how to get rich.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's never too late,
Yeah. What are you gonna do? What made you get into the Karen Read case, and or YouTube? Which did you do first?
First I did YouTube. So I was, I have a friend who is a retired NYPD who has a channel, Police Off the Cuff. And so I said to him, we actually met in acting school and we were like going to acting classes in the city, and he was a stand-up comedian. And then he started a YouTube channel. I said, Bill, why don't you let me come on your show. I could be the legal analyst. This was around when Murdoch was happening.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so through Bill, I met Duty Ron, and then I was on Duty Ron. I think I looked at my list the other day. I did like maybe 70 guest appearances on other shows.
Wow.
And then I thought, why don't I just start my own channel and talk about the things I want to talk about? And that it's been maybe a year and a half. I think I started a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And I just sort of fell into it.
So you did.
I didn't really even know that this was a thing. You know,
Right.
I went to YouTube to watch music videos and concerts. Like I really had no idea that this was a thing.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah. We've been doing it a year and a half as well. Yeah. And kind of the same as you. We knew we wanted to reach people.
We didn't know what we were doing to begin with. You had some YouTube experience to begin with. We were bumbling over extension cords, you know.
Right.
In the basement of the jail, filming our episode.
Oh, really? In jail?
No, but it looked
Felt
like it. There was people in the comments that were like, "Hey, you guys look like you're filming in the basement of the jail," and we kind of were almost.
We had to bring our guns to our studio because we we're unsafe out there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, the YouTube streets are dangerous. It might be more dangerous than actually your real police streets.
They can really dig up some dirt on you. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
These people are vicious. Keyboard warriors is what they are. You know, face to face, they probably won't do anything.
Whatever.
But when you got the power of the keyboards, man, you can be destructive. You can.
Yeah.
I know. I just don't like them.
I know that. But the Karen Reed case is especially divisive. I mean, it is unlike anything I've ever seen as far as like the trolls are concerned.
Have you, had any big
cover a
issues with
lot of
trolls?
other cases and you won't see that.
Yeah. Have you had any big issues with trolls?
Yeah, I have. I don't talk about it because I don't think that they deserve the oxygen.
Exactly.
But you know, they tried to shut me up just like they try to shut up anybody who thinks that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car. Because that's really what this case boils down to. John O'Keefe was not hit by a car.
Okay, yeah, because I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you on my list of questions here. What did you feel about the evidence in this case? And I'm talking like the vehicle, the blood, the snowblower, the collection of it, no pics, them finding the taillight pieces. How do you feel about all that, the evidence and the collection and everything?
I mean, I think it's laughable. Look, this I come from New York. You guys are law enforcement. You know as well as I do that anytime there is an officer down, everything stops. And it's not like that investigation becomes, you know, more important than other homicide investigations, but everybody stops what they're doing. It's all hands on deck. And the investigation of a dead police officer is like nothing you've ever seen.
Yep.
This, I feel, was a travesty.
Yep. 100%.
It was not even, you know, Jen McCabe, who calls 911, who claims throughout her testimony, this was my dear friend. I loved him so much. When she calls 911, doesn't even say, officer down. There's a police officer. We think he's dead. There's a man passed down in the snow.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm in shock.
Not even like there's a police officer who's my dear friend that I've been friends with for a decade on my sister's front lawn.
Yeah.
Come quick. He's a police officer. No, wasn't handled that way. And that's the thing that is just so sus from the beginning. You know, you've handled, I'm sure, investigations in inclement weather.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Gets real hot in Vegas, right?
For us, it's a torrential downpour for us.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So
it's either really, really hot or the days that it does rain here, it floods. And
but we're prepared for that. You know, we have proper impounding equipment like evidence bags that say LVMPD evidence.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Plastic bags to make sure nothing gets contaminated. Buccal swabs. We have everything in the back of our cars.
Yeah.
You know, so
as you should.
Yeah, that's your office, and in your office, you need what you're going to use to work to get your job done.
Yeah.
Right. So
and the police, the Canton PD was a mile and a half away from the scene. They couldn't go back and get proper evidence collection. You know, they had Sergeant Good shoot home to his house, grab his leaf blower, and shoot back. Like,
Yep. No. Brian Albert did not want any attention around his house. That's why he probably was on the phone saying, I want minimal police presence here. I do not want any yellow tape up around my house. Pick it up and clear it out as quick as you can.
But leaving the scene unattended the way they did for 8 hours,
Yeah.
at least 8 hours, 10 hours.
Yeah.
Is that acceptable in any homicide scene? Because by that time, he was clinging to life, if not already deceased when they came to the scene to put him in the ambulance, right? So right away they knew this could be a death scene. How do you leave it unattended like that?
Homicide.
Especially when all the first responders that arrived there, as far as police officers, said it looked like he got beat up. And your instincts are correct 99% of the time as a first responder police officer, because you've seen that type of injury hundreds of times before.
Right.
So.
And that, by the way, that is where the whole I hit him came into play, because Katie McLaughlin, the EMT who from Canton, who went to high school with a girl named Caitlin Albert, said about the injuries to John O'Keefe's face. How do you know how that happened? And that's when Karen responded, did I hit him? Like, hit him in the face. This was originally called in as a domestic. Right? You can testify to that he thought it was a domestic call, that there was some sort of that she smacked him in the face or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know. The whole thing is so crazy. And I think it resonates with so many people, not just from Massachusetts, because they've been dealing with corruption in the police department for decades, but also we have a worldwide audience on YouTube.
Absolutely.
It's not limited to the US anymore or Massachusetts. It's become a worldwide story, and people are outraged everywhere because Karen Reed could be any one of us. And that's what's so scary about this.
You got hit with Sandra and Enrique. You got a trifecta going on right now, and nothing more has come out of Enrique's case as of yet, because Brian from media,
Brian from LTL Media,
covers that.
He covers that.
New.
What do you know about? Obviously, you know about.
Yeah,
Enrique.
I do, and it's been how many months now? And there's been nothing.
Like 4 or 5 months. What do you think they're doing with the info? Why do you think? You think there's a reason they're not releasing it? I think that me personally, I think that they messed up, and honestly, I don't think they know what to do. So they're just like, let's just sit on it and wait. And hopefully people will forget.
Yeah, they're not.
I don't think they know what to do. I think they have video of it. There somewhere out there. There's video of this.
Oh yeah, well, it was like a fight night thing. I mean, I dug into this, and there were other cases throughout the country where this is a thing in the academy. They have fight night where they put, the what do you call them? The I don't know if they're rookies when they're in the police academy, like the trainees, when they have this like fight night, or the big fight they call it. And they put them up against really experienced guys, and they like bet on it, and it's a whole thing. I don't know. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened here, but
for us,
there were many witnesses.
For us, it's called Fight Night for us.
Well, it was called the Will to Survive.
Was it Will to Survive?
When I went through, it was called the Will to Survive.
That's right.
Oh, so you've been through this. So it is a thing.
But it's not. People don't. I mean, I don't know if they bet on us. They really didn't, because there's at least 10 TAC officers in there.
Oh, they didn't bet on me. I got my ass whooped.
Me too.
But it's a thing that nobody's allowed to talk about, right? It's like, we could tell you, but we have to kill you.
It was a thing for us to go through to demonstrate our training that we've learned up to that point.
And they want to see that you're not going to give up.
Right.
They want to see, no matter how bad you're getting beat as a cop, that you will not stop fighting, that you will never give up.
But you have headgear, you have all the protecting gear that you need, and you're fighting 2 or 3 red men. So when you're fighting one guy, when he gets tired, you fight another guy that comes in. When he gets tired, you fight at least 3 guys that you fight that night.
Yeah.
But it's never over 50%, 60%. As a recruit, you're going 100% because they're protected.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they get tired or whatever the case may be. But they're not allowed to go over 50%.
Not supposed to.
Yeah.
But a lot of the guys that we fought, like I fought, were the SWAT team.
Yeah. Really physical fit guys.
Any MMA and jiu-jitsu people, because they'll put out a thing, hey, we need fighters for the Will to Survive test.
Yep.
So, and they'll get like 30 to 40 people, and all the MMA guys, fighters. It sucks. It sucks. They bring you. For me, mine was a little different than G's. Ours was they ask you in the beginning of the academy, has anybody ever been in a fight? Have you ever been punched in the mouth?
And you raise your hand.
And you raise your hand, and there's like, well, before this academy is over, you're going to be in one big fight.
Yep.
Because they want to make sure that you know what it feels like and what you need to do.
Yeah.
and how deep you might have to dig to get out of it. And then they bring you into this room. It was dark. We had a strobe light going.
Blasting.
Music is blasting, and all you see is people lying across the walls. And they brought me in, and I'm like,
you're on the mat too.
Yeah, you're on a mat. And I was like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, hey, lay down. I'm like, okay. They put headgear on you, a mouthpiece in, 4-ounce gloves like the UFC. I laid down, and it was Jason Harney. Jason Harney was an MMA guy. He comes over, he mounts me. They blow the whistle, and he just starts punching me right in the face. Boom, boom, boom. My nose was all bloody. I had bloody lips, bloody mouth. Yeah, I had a black eye. So for me, it wasn't 50%. He was hitting me pretty hard. And
so this is the thing that really goes on. That it's well known that it goes on. So why are they pretending like this is not a thing and we don't know what happened and it was a training exercise?
I think Metro's is a little different than back there. I mean, ours is no one's ever been seriously injured. The most
I don't
we've
think
had
they do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't even think they do it anymore, honestly. Yeah, I think we had people with some broken noses, missing teeth, stuff like that, and that's why they started getting rid of it. But it's not unusual for an academy to put you in a fighting scenario or a bunch of different fighting scenarios because you're going to fight as a cop.
Yep.
You're going to go hands-on
you need to,
all the
right?
time. Yeah. If you think you're not going hands-on or you're not going to fight as a cop, you're crazy. It's absolutely going to happen.
But you know, they don't beat you to death.
No.
And whatever happened here, they don't want any more bad publicity. The Massachusetts State Police has enough bad publicity between the Karen Reed case and a number of other things that are going on.
Yep.
So they can't afford any more bad publicity to add to the knowledge of the jury pool that's going to be selected allegedly come April 1st.
Yeah. But listen, there's not going to be a juror that's going to say, have not seen any cases at all whatsoever when it comes to their local town.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to find. I wanted to ask you that. If it goes to trial, which it looks like it probably will, do you think it's going to be fair this time? What do you think? Are they going to do anything differently? What's your vibe? What do you think?
I think the defense is going to put on a much larger, much more robust defense because the first trial, they only put on a few witnesses. Like, remember Lally dragged that out. I don't remember how many witnesses there were, but maybe 70. Like, there were a lot of witnesses.
Yeah.
The defense called a handful because they, maybe they thought it was so obvious that he didn't get hit by a car, just like we all thought. There were no injuries to support a pedestrian versus car motor vehicle accident. That's why I got involved in this from the beginning. I'm a civil litigator. I've handled thousands of car accident cases and dog bite cases. I've never seen a pedestrian hit by a car that did not have bumper marks, bruising below the waist, the waist, the hips, the legs, the shins, something below the waist.
Well,
it was obvious. And I think that the jury, there was so much Charlie Brown teacher talk from Lally, like wah, 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 wah. And they had to rely on notes. And by the time that case was over, 10 weeks in, there was a lot of confusion, I think.
Yep.
They're not allowed readbacks in Massachusetts. That's another thing. So I don't know if you guys are allowed readbacks in Las Vegas. And what I mean by that is the jury can say, Your Honor, we'd like you to read back the testimony of Trooper Jones because we don't remember exactly what he said. We're having some discrepancies in the jury room about what Trooper Jones said. And then they bring the court reporter in and the court reporter will read back the testimony so that the jury's recollection can be refreshed. We have that in New York. It's a regular thing.
Okay.
Do you think that's a strategy?
They don't allow that. They don't allow it. I don't know why, but it's bizarre.
Do you think it's a strategy?
I don't. It's just Massachusetts rules.
Is that in every case? That's almost like saying we're going to have sporting events here, but there's no replay.
Right.
On close calls. Remember when they changed that and they said there's no replay and it was horrible? Horrible.
Yeah.
There's a reason that you want to have a replay or a reread, right?
Because you want to get it right.
Yeah.
You want to get it right. You don't want to be relying on your memory. It may be, and it may be judicial discretion in Massachusetts. But it's definitely, they did not allow it during this trial. And so, I mean, look, you take notes, I take notes. Sometimes I go back in my notes. I'm like, what the hell did I mean by that? I don't remember what I meant by that. Yeah. Sometimes I can barely read my own notes. So, and there were jurors that were taking notes. Some weren't.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
So
did
when you
not
get
know
back
that.
there
That
to
is heavy,
deliberate,
dude.
yeah. And I feel
Yeah, I
like
didn't know that either. Wow.
they didn't want to get it right. They just wanted the conviction in this case. They just
Yeah.
want, for whatever reason, they wanted a conviction. It wasn't about justice for John O'Keefe. It was about pinning it on the girl, you know? Tell him the
Scratch
guy
the
never
surface.
went in the house.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Exactly.
so, you know, that Boston cop's going to catch a lot of shit. No,
No, he's
he's
not.
not. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so odd to me when people comment or when just on other outlets, people say how like idiots that everybody who supports Karen is, and that he got hit by a car and died. I don't know.
There's been
I don't know how you can follow when you follow the evidence. It doesn't lead
Well-
to that. I don't see how people can actually think that.
Brian and I have been to a lot of auto pedestrian strikes,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
from all gamuts of speed, right?
yeah.
And 25 miles an hour side swipe is not going to kill you.
No.
It's not
No.
going to kill you.
No.
You might have a broken bone, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
But it's not going to kill you unless it runs over your head, right? But it's not going
Right.
to do that. So when we're looking at these evidence and this report, I'm like, it just doesn't seem right to us.
It doesn't.
And
doesn't.
that's why we decided to jump on it, because these cops were fucking up from top to bottom,
Mhm.
from the get-go.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. When you would respond to a pedestrian versus motor vehicle accident or fatality, would you then issue a motor vehicle accident report?
Oh, absolutely. Well, the way it works here at Metro, we respond to the accident. We call motors.
Mhm.
Motors take over the scene.
Motorcycle guys.
Yeah, motorcycle guys. Now, if it's a death, then fatal comes out.
Mhm.
So you have us, motors, and fatal working that scene.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to close all streets that have access to that street
Correct.
until who was that? Who did I just say?
Fatal.
Fatal takes care of it and calls it.
Mhm.
So for us to handle that scene, it would take at least 4 or 5 hours
Mm-hmm.
just for that scene, right? But if it was an officer involved scene, shoot,
10 to 12.
10 to 12 hours.
Easy. Well, the North Las Vegas officer who
Yeah.
was
down.
unalived, who was gunned down 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
They were at the scene, I want to say, for over 18 hours.
Yeah.
18 hours at one scene.
Right.
They cleaned up 34 Fairview in what? 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. What was that? Like, we're good.
Yeah, maybe an
Good.
hour.
Hey, get this guy off my yard. We're good. We're good. Don't worry about nothing else.
Don't
We're
worry
good.
about hanging up that
We're
tape.
good. We're good. He's fine. We're good.
But that's the thing too. You know, Proctor was convinced this was a motor vehicle accident within 16 hours and that it was Karen who did it, but they never filled out a crash report.
Yeah.
There is no motor vehicle accident report, to my knowledge, that exists in this case. And
Wasn't it-
in New York, that's a requirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
I thought Proctor had Karen. He had her. Didn't he have her in his sights right off the bat? It seemed like within the first hour or half hour. Didn't he? He told somebody, Karen hit him with the car. That's what we're going with. Blah blah blah.
He was texting with his buddies that night. But
Yeah.
they called for a tow by 2:30 in the afternoon to tow her car without having seen it, without having any video evidence or any evidence other than Jennifer
Yeah.
McCabe's testimony. Or her, not even her testimony, her statement that wasn't recorded, wasn't signed, wasn't
Mhm.
videotaped, wasn't transcribed for who knows how long.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
that's
It's
what
like
they
a
were
clown
going
show.
with.
It really is.
I don't think they were anticipating her to fight back at all.
No,
You know.
no, they thought she would take a play,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
I think.
Yep. And then she decided this is not right, and she hired some attorneys, and the Commonwealth is like hit all brakes and stopped and started backpedaling, and
Yeah.
shit's gonna hit. This next go around, like you're saying, Melanie, shit's gonna hit because all this new evidence that's coming out. Okay, why wasn't it out to begin with?
Yeah, all this
Right?
new Sallyport video that's all of a sudden surfacing after the first trial that had to have been preserved within the first 30 days because according to them, their own expert, it overwrites itself within 30 days. There's a way of preserving that on the original system. You can put it on a legal hold. They didn't do that, allegedly.
Yeah,
Right.
they should have tossed that case as soon as that new evidence came through.
I agree. That inverted video
Mm.
should have been a mistrial.
Yep. Yep.
I didn't even know you could invert videos.
Yep. There's a button that says
Well,
invert.
Is there?
There's a lot of
Why would
people
you
that
need
know how to, you know, cap cut and, you know,
Yeah,
put people's faces
I
on
know.
other people's bodies and, you know, they can do lots
Yeah,
of
this
things with
AI stuff
AI
is getting
nowadays.
crazy.
And they've
What
got
was
nothing.
what
They've got
was
no metadata. How are they gonna authenticate any of this evidence? They can't.
Nope.
well, and everybody that already spoke and gave their testimony is locked into that
They're
testimony.
gonna perjure themselves.
So it's interesting to me when they say are they just going to bring back everybody that already testified, and then they're going to
You mean the
redo it?
prosecution?
The prosecution, yeah, they're just going to bring back everybody in again. And
Well, in my opinion, in the first trial, they had way too many witnesses. They did not need to call every single person who was at the waterfall or every single person who ever drove by 34 Fairview in their lives. It was ridiculous.
it
The number
was
of witnesses. Did you guys follow like the Robert Tellis trial out of Vegas? Okay.
Mhm.
So, you know, it was streamlined. There were only the most necessary witnesses and it was quick. And
Yeah.
that's what they should have done, but they didn't because their idea was to throw spaghetti at the wall,
See what sticks.
bring everybody in,
Yeah.
bore the jury to death, and just have it drag on and on and on forever. So nobody knows which way is up. And are they going to do that again? I don't know. But many
that's
of these people have testified 3 times now. You know, they've testified in front of a state grand jury, a federal grand jury, and the first trial. So all of that prior testimony is going to be able to be used against them if they all of a sudden start changing their story in trial number 2.
That's got to be a huge expense for the taxpayers.
Yeah.
A huge expense.
Yeah.
Wow. Is there going to be? Is there any elections coming up over there?
I don't know. I think Michael Morrissey, who's been the district attorney since, I think you guys chat, correct me if I'm wrong, since 2010, he's never run unopposed, but I think he's coming up for re-election. I don't know if it's 2025 or 2026, but all of a sudden there are some people who want to run against him, and that'll be interesting. I mean, I can't imagine why a high-profile defense attorney like Hank Brennan, who represented Whitey Bulger, would want to give up his private defense practice and come into Norfolk County. They're only paying him $75,000 against $250 an hour, which is
that
plumber
we know
money.
of. That we know of.
There's been some, you know, it's all public record. So there's been some other payments to him. I don't know if it was for his paralegal because they hired her too. I don't know what it was for. Does he have political aspirations? Because why else would anybody walk into this case knowingly? I call it the hot potato case in Norfolk County because no other prosecutor in that office wanted to touch it. There's no conflict. There was no reason for them to go outside their own office and hire an outside attorney to come in unless nobody else wanted to touch it.
Listen, it could be very well be a career ender.
Yeah.
You know?
Something in the handbook about a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Exactly. Elections in 2 years, somebody said. Yeah.
Oh, 2 years. Great. What did you think of the all the objections from Lally? I mean, every question is objection. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, there are attorneys who object a lot. There's like this ASAP Rocky trial that's going on that I'm not really following right now, but I think there were something like 17 objections during the defense closing or something, like crazy objections. I think that what I found disturbing about this case, one of the many things I found disturbing about the trial in particular, is that the judge ruled ahead of time that attorneys were not allowed to state grounds for their objections when they objected. So in New York, you object, and then you have to say why you're objecting. Hearsay, argumentative, asked and answered, you know,
Damaging to my
foundation.
case.
Whatever your objection is, you have to know the grounds and you have to be able to state them. And if you just say objection, the judge will stare at you until you say why. Massachusetts, she ruled you're not allowed to say why. You have to come to sidebar if I say so, and we'll discuss it there off the record. Well, not off the record, but outside the presence of the cameras and the jury. And so that way it sort of preserved every grounds for objections for an appeal. It was very bizarre. I've never really seen that before in any other highly publicized trial.
I think Grandma. Go ahead.
Disturbing, and I found that Lally objected every time something wasn't going to look good for him because he knew the answer was not going to be good for his case, and sometimes those objections were sustained without really any legal basis for that.
I was going to say, I think Auntie Bev has got her hands way too much into this case, in my opinion. You know, I think I've never seen a judge, and all the times I've been to court, I've never seen a judge do this kind of intermingling with the prosecution. It just doesn't rub me right.
Yeah, and our next video that's going to drop is the Telus case. We did a little bit of Telus versus Canton, CSI a little bit.
Oh, cool.
And, but yeah, it should be a decent video. It's not really a comparison. It's just showing what they should have done. But even in that case, I think I watched about 3 or 4 hours of the court, and
No objection.
I think there was one objection in like 3 or 4 hours.
I loved that judge so much. She's like a cross between Cyndi Lauper and Betsy Johnson. She was amazing. I love that. And she had the voice of like Megan Mullally from Will and Grace.
Right.
You know,
but there
Karen
was no
from Will and
objections,
Grace.
right?
What?
There was like, I think there was 1 or 2, because I remember during the video, I think I remember saying like, hey, I haven't heard an objection yet. And we're like an hour in.
Yeah, there were days where we didn't even hear the judge speak hardly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely strange. But Bev is in with them, yeah.
Well, I don't know. You know, look, they made a motion to
That's what they
recuse
say.
before the first trial. They made a motion for the judge. The defense made a motion for the judge to recuse herself. And based on alleged personal ties to some of the witnesses, and they had certain evidence, and she was the one to hear the judge, and she was the one to hear the motion, Judge Cannoni, and she denied it. So there's that.
What can happen to her if they feel like she's, not being truthful or?
Well, I mean, there's, judges have wide judicial discretion and immunity. So there's nothing that can really, unless they find, and I'm not saying that she's corrupt. I don't think she's corrupt. I mean, a lot of people think that she's biased, but, judges have very, very broad discretion. And so they're the gatekeeper, as she likes to say. So, she could be overruled on appeal, as she was during some of those initial pretrial motions regarding phone records of Jennifer McCabe. That went up on appeal to get her Google search records. And she, of course, was appealed on the juror issue recently, which the the court just came down and said, no, we're not going to overturn the verdict, and we're not going to let you interview the jurors, even though several jurors came out and said we really did acquit her on counts 1 and 3. So, there are appellate routes, other routes, but I don't think there's any proof of any sort of corruption here.
What about that scandal between her and Morrissey, where they're exchanging emails through his private cell phone or server? They didn't come out of that?
There was no emails between Judge Cannoni that I'm aware of and Morrissey. Morrissey had been emailing district court judges in Stoughton after they denied a restraining order that Chris Albert wanted to get against Aidan Carney. And Michael Morrissey, from his private email, sent all of them an email, including a text message screenshot from Jennifer McCabe, to whom we now know was Michael Morrissey, saying, I'm outraged, or not outraged, but don't quote me. Chris Albert didn't get his restraining order, and I'm really mad about it. And he sent that out. And so that made all of his personal emails discoverable in this case.
Right.
So we have yet to see what is going to come from that.
Wasn't there a conflict of interest with Bev and some of the cops that were involved? Like, I heard something to the effect that she rented like a house to one of them. Did you hear that?
Summer home or something on the beach, or
there was a Venmo payment that was brought out as like a giant exhibit during this motion to recuse. That was a payment from Julie Nagel, who was a witness in the case, to her brother Ryan Nagel, who was also a witness in the case. That said in the description box, for Frank and Beverly, spelled Beverly a different way than she spells her name. It spelled it E-Y instead of Y. Her husband's name does happen to be Frank. They brought that up during the motion, and the judge said, no, that's not even how I spell my name. No, I've never rented my beach house to anyone. No.
Oh, boy.
Here's the thing. You're supposed to avoid even the appearance of impropriety as a judge, even the appearance. And so she had the opportunity to walk away from that case and say, you know what? I don't know any of these people, but maybe it might look like I do. And so I don't want to give the appearance of impropriety. And so therefore, even though I don't know them and I'm not biased, I'm going to recuse myself just because it may look that way.
You see that? That's common sense talking right there.
Mhm.
That's common sense.
So is Bev? So she's locked in as the lawyer for the second trial,
Judge.
or judge.
The judge, yeah, they've made a special order to keep her on. I don't know, the super judge, whoever it is, you know, the head
super
judge of judges has because there were other cases that she was involved in, high profile, that they've taken her off of because they rotate the judges out of from criminal to civil or something. I'm not sure exactly, but they have ordered that she stay on this case, which, by the way, is not unusual. In retrials, they often keep the same judge because the judge is fully familiar with the case, right?
Well, think about this too.
Makes sense.
If you were to fire Proctor,
Mhm.
right? Fire Paul, fire Buchanan, that would not look good for the
Oh
prosecution.
no, I mean, it already
That's why
didn't.
they're holding everybody back.
Yeah.
Make sure they don't have a black eye on their face going into this next trial series.
Yeah, but even if the prosecution doesn't call Proctor, the defense can call Proctor and humiliate him on the stand, and point out all of the lies. I mean,
he took a hit, man.
Did he get fired yet, or what?
No, there's still more hearings. They keep pushing it.
I
Will they
could not
push it until
believe.
after the trial? Maybe.
Yeah, I could not believe the stuff that was coming out of his mouth. Holy macaroni!
You and me both.
It made me cringe, man.
Yeah, I know.
Like, holy.
That was our
crap.
very first video we ever did was Proctor.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you ever do that? Do you ever text each other about how horrible the you know, the alleged perpetrator is, and you know, disparage her looks and her medical conditions and call her the C word? And I mean, is that like something that
No.
cops do?
No.
I mean,
No.
We've never done that.
No, cops. I mean, you can text about whatever you need to, but stuff like this, no, because when you have a death and a female, and you have victims, cops,
You're not in a mindset.
you're not. I don't know what they were thinking, but our thought process is, let's gather the intel, gather the evidence, let's figure out what happened, and let's move forward with this case. It's not about what the girl looks like or whatever.
you've never searched her phone for nudes?
Exactly.
No.
Okay,
Exactly.
good.
That'll get you fired
Quick.
That'll get you fired real quick.
That night.
Yeah.
That night.
Yeah.
The only thing that we would, if it was an officer involved shooting or officer involved fatality, we would reach out to our people to, hey, just so you know, this is coming down the pipe. Never nothing unprofessional, never nothing disrespectful. I mean,
not to say that it doesn't happen here, but
right.
I've never seen it.
I've never
Gonzo's never seen it.
Yeah.
I've never been a part of it. And we've been on hundreds of critical incidents. And I just don't see that happening here. It might in smaller private details, but even then,
who knows?
Yeah. Even then, I don't, it's not acceptable. And he knows that. And they all knew that.
Right. And it's never been made public to a worldwide audience. Anyway.
Correct. When Jackson made him say everything, oh man, that was gold.
Have you ever had?
Read it. Say what he said. Read what you said, sir. Read what you said. He was like,
line,
and then he tries to spell it out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
What were we gonna say, Melanie?
Have you ever had the FBI do an investigation of an investigation that you investigated?
No.
Well, let me say this. I mean, it's different here, Melanie, because as patrolmen, road dogs, we'd get to the call, see what we have. If it's a homicide, we call homicide, right? They come out, groups of 4 to 6, depending on how big it is. We'll brief them on what we have.
Yep.
And then from that point, we'll secure the perimeter. We'll be wherever they need us. But our first initial response is take care of the victim, secure the crime scene, give out suspect information or arrest suspect if he's there, right? So it's very, very streamlined here for us to handle a homicide. We first respond, like I said, and then homicide takes it over.
Right.
Yeah. And we do it so much though here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be on a homicide scene a lot in Las Vegas. I mean, somebody dies here every day.
You're going to have a critical incident every night.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. I mean, we saw somebody usually die almost every day. Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it be car accident, suicide,
whatever.
Yeah. But so you get used to it, and then we have our procedures, and you get them down
like
very
that.
quick and very
Yep.
easily.
And our dispatchers, when we say, yeah, it's going to be a homicide, they're already making the notifications.
Yeah.
Our dispatch is ahead of us in
Mhm.
so many cases, you know.
Yeah, when you get
So,
good dispatch. Yeah.
it's a very street. Listen, I love Metro, but I'm sure there's other really good agencies out there.
Mhm.
But I'm only preview to Metro, so I know our routines and Brian's routine, my routine when we were cops. It's a great department, and I'm sure there's great departments out there as well that
Of course.
Yeah.
go unrecognizable. And the reason why we stand out so much is because we are the capital of the world for gambling and tourism,
And
you
fighting.
know, and fighting.
And
that
fighting.
too,
Yeah, we're the
entertainment.
MMA capital of the world. Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
we're lucky.
Yeah,
You're
that's
busy.
what UFC's been here for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is something you got to worry about as well when you're walking through the casinos and stuff. We've run into a lot of UFC fighters
Oh, really?
that have been on our properties. Oh yeah, a lot of them. So you never know who you're talking to. So
Yep. be
That's
careful.
right.
yeah.
That's right. And there
Um,
are a lot of good cops. And somebody's pointing that
yeah.
out in the chat. And I want to say that, like, listen, when we
Yeah.
talk about corruption and bad investigations, we're not bashing all cops. There are
No.
more good cops and
Yes.
bad cops. And I back the blue 100%. Always.
as do
But
we.
it just
just-
seems to be that there's a lot more corruption or perhaps bad investigations going on in Massachusetts
Yeah.
because
Than
we're
in any
focusing
other
on
place.
Massachusetts right now.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems, I mean, when you see the news, it seems to be kind of popping up all over
Mhm.
here and there. But
Yeah.
again, like I've
It
always
needs to
said,
be though. It
it's-
needs to be.
well, it's because we're human. And when you have a human element, no matter what,
Right.
people are going to mess up. People are
Right.
going to, right? They're going to make
Yep.
mistakes. They're going to mess up.
Yeah.
And
But
when-
it's just more amplified when it's a protector of people. You know,
Yeah.
police officer.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to be doing that kind of stuff. We're supposed to be walking the white line, not the gray or the black line.
that
you
is
know?
true. That is true.
And unfortunately, with social media, not unfortunately, good that social media is bringing to light corruption and bad cops. But
Yeah.
you know what I'd like to see in social media is show the full clip, not just the clip that makes the bad officer.
Makes
right?
them look bad. You mean?
Makes them look bad, right? If you show the whole clip and you see that this guy's, you know, brandishing a knife or a gun or whatever, and that's why the police officer acts the way he did, because the
Yeah.
suspect dictates our actions
Mhm.
all the time.
Mhm.
We don't go from 0 to 100 right when we're there. We have tools on our body, on our person to step through, right? It might be just officer presence that takes care of it. The ultimate thing that might have to do is pull out your weapon and use it. And that's something that a police officer never wants to do, but it happens.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
What was one thing, if you had to think of one thing in this case that really made you like want to pull your hair out, yell at your screen? You know, whether it was redundant and happening a lot, or maybe one time, was there anything in this case that you were like, what the WTF?
What's happening?
Oh my
is driving
God,
me
there's so
crazy.
many, chat. There's so many. The what if
Okay.
any's were making me so crazy after a while. What if any? What if any? Who, if anyone, was driving the ambulance? Like, it just was so repetitive.
Okay.
So many things. I mean, the text messages between Proctor and his fellow troopers, one of
Mhm.
them in particular was where they were saying, like, why couldn't you get the medical examiner to change the cause of death to homicide?
Exactly.
And Michael Proctor said, oh, you know, well, we tried. Yuri and I went in there and tried to talk to her 3
Yeah.
times. And then one of the other troopers was like, rookie move, man. You should have had
Yeah.
me and Jeff do it. Like,
Yep.
it was just so, like, it just made everything seem so normal to them. Like, this was something that they would normally do. Strong arm the medical examiner into changing cause
Correct.
of death from
Yep.
undetermined to homicide. Or like in the case of Sandra Birchmore, which we don't even know all the details of yet, from
Mhm.
homicide to suicide, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's just,
It's a lot
those
of
text
power.
messages were wild, you know? Tell him the guy never went into the house.
Yeah.
Let me
The
ask
text
you this.
messages between all the people that were in the house that night.
Yep. Yeah. The after party.
Mhm.
You know.
You
Let
know
me
that
ask you-
Colin Albert was never in the house. Colin Albert was never in a fight his entire life.
But yet his knuckles were all bruised up.
Yeah.
Right.
Bloody knuckles.
Let me ask you this, Melanie. What one question would you have wanted them to ask? The defense of Proctor, of Paul, of any of them. What one question would you like them to ask, or would you have asked?
I can't really think of one question that I would have wanted them to ask. What I would have liked to seen was some cross-examination that I didn't see. For example,
right.
a cross-examination of Dr. Renee Stonebridge, who was the doctor that came in for
Mhm.
the Commonwealth with, remember, she had full sleeve tattoos on both arms.
Mhm.
And she was the doctor, the medical examiner, the forensic pathologist who examined his brain.
Mhm.
I feel like she had all the answers to the case in the palm of her hand. And all she needed was a cross-examination to get it out there. Like, what do you mean? He had an intracranial bleed in this side of his brain and this side of his brain and multiple skull fractures here and here and here and here. Could that possibly happen from one blow to the head, or would it be more blows to the head? Because based on my, medical knowledge and all of the cases that I've handled throughout the course of my 30-year career, it seems to me like these injuries were caused by multiple blows to the head, not one. And I feel like she could have said that if she was asked. And so
Yeah.
I think, and Carrie Roberts was another one who could have been cross-examined. I think this time they're going to come in.
Yeah.
They're coming in, first of all, with a much bigger team. Mark Betterow has just
Yep. Just
joined the team.
Mhm.
Bob Alessi has joined the team. So they have a lot more guns, and they're going to need them because every attorney has their strengths.
Yep.
And so you're going to see a division of duties, and people are going to, attorneys are going to be assigned to certain witnesses, and they have their strengths. And the she's a whack job stuff. I mean, all that stuff. Yeah. The Lexus
Wow.
taillight. Like, you've seen pedestrian accidents? Have you ever seen a pedestrian who was hit by a car with his arm and it caused the taillight to shatter?
No.
I mean, what's your understanding of,
Not at 25
what is a
miles an
taillight made
hour.
of, and what does it take? What kind of force does it take to break, shatter a taillight?
Yeah.
It takes a direct impact for the tail light to shatter like that. I'm talking like if you're going to use like a bat, it's the
You
bat
need a-
right on the light.
Yeah. You need a bat or a hammer, or sledgehammer.
Something that's
You
going
need
to
something
be pinpoint, because that's going to cause it to
Well,
shatter.
and you're gonna need weight, like density,
Mass.
heavy, right?
Yeah.
Something heavy to shatter all that. But that polycarbonate that it's made out of, it's meant to not shatter like glass into 700 pieces when it breaks. It's most of the scenes that we've been on, car accidents,
Big
you
chunks.
you see a couple of chunks, 2 to 6, 8 pieces, but not 30, 40 pieces. I've never seen that.
Not microscopic pieces that could
No.
be embedded in clothing that there's no chain of custody for them,
No.
may or may not have
No.
been in the same envelope with those pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got the chief of police driving by, a week later?
20 miles an hour.
Right.
I saw a whole bunch of pieces in the yard. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
First off,
yeah.
the chief of police ain't driving around looking for nothing, right? Except maybe for food.
They should have had a subpoena for all the police officers' pants to see if they had holes in their pockets.
Yeah.
Like Shamshan Shadaktion. What is that movie called?
Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, I love
Redemption.
our one video where Gonzo because Gonzo puts in a lot of the funny stuff. So he put in the Shawshank Redemption where he walks out to the yard and he shakes his pants and the rocks fall out. That really reminds me, like I could see the chief or somebody doing that and just kind of.
You know who didn't find any taillight pieces? Any of the people who actually lived in the house at 34 Fairview.
Yeah.
None of them found any taillight pieces, but every police officer who ever drove by there, they just magically started appearing as the snow was melting and the
glimmer in your
the
eye.
weeks
And you
after.
catch it and you look at it and you're like, oh, I think that's evidence over there. Gee, I think we got a piece.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. It's what's beeping? What's beeping over here?
Okay. Yeah, super chats. Hey, Mel, we're gonna take a little time out.
We're gonna take a break and read some super chats real quick.
Go for it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you if you could do one thing differently than Jackson did. What? And I know that's kind of a big question.
Hey, brother, we can't see the chat over
like,
there.
what would you do? Would you have approached anything differently?
It's so easy to Monday morning quarterback. And I
Yeah.
think that during the trial, no, I think they did an amazing job.
Okay. Yeah, Jackson's a great dude. He's
But,
solid.
for the retrial, I think that maybe focus on, look, we don't know what happened. We don't know who did it. But what we do know is that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car.
Correct.
And that is what the evidence shows, that he was not hit by a car. And we don't know who did it. Maybe not focus on certain people having done it, because then those people turn up in the courtroom during closing arguments to stare the jury down, which I thought was insane.
Yeah, that was odd. That was odd. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to get your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope the second one goes a lot differently.
Producer Steve.
Hi, Steve.
What's up?
What's up, Steve?
Okay, we got.
Got some
This
super
is
chats?
great. I didn't want to interrupt you guys, but we got a lot of activity. We've got over 2,000 people here in the
Oh,
chat,
Jeez.
and we've got lots of super chats. So I will address these real quick for everybody. We got a new member, Liz888. Welcome.
Liz888, welcome.
She says, Gonzo, you're a hottie in the hat, dude.
That hat, dude. Bow! Gonzo is a hottie.
Thank you.
Our friend Kelly Reed is here. She says hello.
Kelly.
Hello,
up, Kelly?
Kelly.
What's up?
My douche.
Jennifer D is gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Makes Lalina Harkness as a new member. Now, all you new members, there is on our YouTube page, there's a member tab, and if you go in there, there's a bunch of behind-the-scenes videos and some other stuff in there for you to watch and laugh because we do stupid stuff. So
Watch the one that's labeled "Case of the Giggles." Me and Gonzo.
yeah, that's a good one.
It's like 3 minutes of us just laughing hysterically. We got a case of the giggles and we couldn't stop.
Kath has now been a member for 3 months.
Let's
Hello,
go.
Kath. Thank you for being a member.
Thank you, Kath.
My douche.
And actually, I should have asked this before the show. I did not. Well, hopefully, there's good news. They're concerned about your dad, Gonzo.
Yeah, he's
Everything
still
okay?
he's still above dirt right now, so I appreciate all the thoughts.
I kind of let it slip. When he was gone, Steve was saying he had some family business. I didn't know if G wanted people to know, but we're open here on our channel. And I was just saying he's going up to see his dad.
Dad's struggling
And,
right now,
yeah,
but
his
he's doing
dad's
good.
struggling. I mean, that's part of life. I didn't think it needed
That's
to be
the only
private.
thing. That's the only thing that's true in life is death, dude. That's the only thing that's true.
Death is undefeated.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've met death, but it is undefeated.
Yeah.
And that's from our friend Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Dark Willow. Gifted
Dark
5
Willow.
memberships. Thank you, Dark Willow.
AKA Tina King.
Mhm.
Let's
Oh,
see
and
you
this was a question when you guys were talking about the Will to Survive.
Do the women cops fight too? Yes.
They have
Yes.
to.
But I will say this, because all the girls in my academy, some of them, they don't get beat on like the guys. I mean, they don't. Most of the girls came out pretty unscathed.
But you know what though? Let me say this though. Anytime that I knew that I was a police officer, a female police officer that was on my squad that was going to a call, they would never have any shortness of anybody backing them up.
No.
I always backed them up.
We always did.
Everybody backed the girls up.
Yeah, you can't let a girl, female officer, go by herself to a call.
But here lies the
Can't.
problem. Here lies the problem. When you have the female police officer, they get to be a little tough when they have 2 or 3 cops behind them. They get a little mouthy, you know. They say a few things that they should, like, oh shoot, we're gonna get in a fight tonight.
Yes.
Right?
I've run into a few female officers that, and I'm just gonna be honest. Okay, there's a couple female cops, and they want to be guys. They try to act like guys, and they have a big mouth. They stir stuff up, and then they walk away, and they let the men fight. I don't like that. I don't like that.
It's a tough go.
It's
a tough
happened.
go.
It's happened a bunch of times. Yeah, it can be annoying, but it happens. But yeah, the females fight. They just don't fight us. They don't get beat up as bad as the guys.
Yeah.
I want to welcome new members. Amy's Positive Pathways.
Pathways.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just Henry's
Just Henry's mom.
That's cute.
What's up, Henry's mom?
I like that call sign.
Just Henry's mom.
Pam McKinnon,
McKinnon.
welcome.
Welcome, Pam.
Rainy Day.
Rainy day. We love rainy days, especially here in Vegas.
Yeah, we just had 1 or 2 this week. It was nice.
Yeah, Thursday it rained all day nonstop. It was so nice. Because we don't get rain here. We get rain like
Yeah.
what, 15 days a
2
year?
inches, 2 inches a year.
2 inches
Yeah,
a
we're
year,
done
like
now.
15 days a year we get
Okay.
rain. So
Julie O, welcome. And then we've got some more super chats. We've got Jennifer D. Love the LVCops Melanie little collab. How did they get
Yo.
Proctor's post-trial texts?
from the feds.
I think it was from they had to turn over that based on the internal affairs investigation that was going on. I think they seized his phone, his private phone and his work phone, and I think that those had to be turned over to the defense. So that was a post-trial thing because they didn't start in, his internal affairs investigation until after the trial ended. So
Yeah.
that's what I think happened.
All right, we've got a super from Cartoid Artery.
Cartoid.
Melanie's my fave too.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Melanie's getting some love.
Yep.
Another super from Tracy Fagan. Thank you. They should have tossed this case with the
Oh
solo
my
cups.
goodness, absolutely.
What's
Well
wrong
done.
with solo cups?
They're sanitary.
I put blood in solo cups every day.
They
It's
got
not a
alcohol.
problem.
Mine all have alcohol in them.
Yeah. You pour a little vodka in it.
Yeah,
right?
no, the beer pong
Helps
ones, the
sustain
ones
it.
they
Yeah.
used on the beer pong table.
Those are the
Exactly.
best ones. They're the only ones that come sterile.
I can
I
tell.
prefer the
Out of the package.
LVCopsTV
Whoa.
giant 40-ounce mug myself.
I often collect evidence in my LVCopsTV coffee mug. Because you want to have the evidence around you close by at all times. You never know when you're going to need it.
Yep.
Cynthia 1880 gifted 10 memberships.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Goodman's is now a
Oh,
member
the
for 2 months.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Goodmans.
Goodman's. Hi, everyone. Great collab.
Oh my
Goodmans.
goodness.
Goodmans are always
We
in
love
there.
the Goodmans.
Yep.
Yeah,
See
Goodmans
ya.
are. They're big.
Oh, and our buddy from Europe, Nick, sent
Hey,
us
Nick.
50. And I feel bad because
Oh,
I still
thank
don't know
you.
what they're.
Yeah, this
Total
was during the
31
ASAP Rocky trial. Defense closing 31 objections, 20 were overruled, 11 sustained, 6 speaking of it. You kept track? I think when I saw the clip, it had only been, I think this was in the middle when the two of them were fighting, Joe Tacopina and whoever his adversary was. And yeah, I think at the time I watched it, it was only something like 17, but I guess, yeah, that's insane. You never see that.
Wow.
You never see that. That's just crazy.
Wow.
So why did that happen, you think?
The attorneys were going at it. They have personal beef, I
Personal
think. I
beef,
mean, it was
yeah.
just crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Julio is super.
Julio.
Yay, I made the live. Hit the like button right along.
Let's go.
All right.
Douche.
I like
Congratulations to your first live, Julie.
it. Yep.
You made it.
Sarah in Shock and Horror is now a member for 2 months.
Yay,
She
Sarah.
says, love this collab of cups and cupcakes.
Law talks to law.
Law talks to law.
We need a bunch of cupcakes in the chat, and I need fireworks.
Sarah's a
Shock
mod
and
for me.
horror.
Sarah's awesome.
Mm.
Oh, is she? Cool.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Welcome, Libby C, new member. And
That's gotta be a tough job being a mod.
I hadn't seen this, but apparently Turtle Boy is going to have a juror tonight on
Mm-hmm.
the show.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa, that's gonna be
9
big.
p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
As far as I
That's gonna
know,
be
he's got a
big.
juror who's agreed to speak to him. Unless
Wow.
things have
Again, he-
changed. I'm sure anonymously and, not on camera, but
I was going to say that's probably not a good idea, but
maybe, disguise the voice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Make it sound like me.
yeah.
Well,
Hey,
a
get that
juror
soul.
from the first trial, right? So,
Yeah.
So, Gonzo, you have your cowboy hat on, and Blessed in Texas is in the chat. So there you
Good
go.
day, man.
Oh, hi. Love her.
Blessed in Texas.
We got a super from Loud Mouse.
Love her too.
Great stream. I appreciate
Thank you,
all
Loud
so
Mouse.
much, and we appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you. We do.
He was one of our first ride-along guests when we started doing the
Yeah.
shows where we bring him on.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool.
I bit him. I bit him. I bit him.
Bit him.
That's one of the
That's like the old Instagram skits with the dog,
Hey,
canine dog.
you know-
I saw suspect, bit suspect.
You know what I learned the other day? Melanie, check this out. So if you have a dog and a cat in your house,
Mhm.
okay, and you happen to pass away,
Mhm.
who's gonna eat you first?
The cat.
The cat within 30 minutes.
And they'll probably eat your
Really?
face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cats go for
And
the
I got-
soft spots.
I
on
got
the
3
bottom.
cats. I'm doomed. Well, I'm gonna be like a snack to them, but
Well, yeah, you're fun size.
yeah, I'm fun
Well-
size. Fun size snack.
Well, I've had a couple calls here in Vegas where there are dead body calls and animals have eaten part of the people.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the worst ones was down in Southern Highlands. This family called and said, "Hey, the house next door is smelling really bad." So I get there, and when you see millions of flies on the windows on the inside of the house,
That's a clue.
that's a wrap. Right? They're dead. So I go to the back. I go to the back of the house, and there's a kitchen slider. So I'm checking the doors, right? See if they're open. I slide the door, it's open. So I'm like, nice. So I slide it open. The smell hits. It's you can't even describe it, right?
It sticks on you.
I hear this slow, low growling. And I'm like, okay, that's a dog. So I stick my head in and I look with my flashlight, and there's our big Rottweiler sitting there, and he's got green stuff all over him. And there's a lady who was probably about 400 or 500 pounds on the ground. And the dog had eaten her entire
So she was
leg.
She was 400 or 500 pounds. Now she's a leg
No,
lighter.
she was a little lighter, but I was like, I mean, it was so intense. It looked like a huge, like
chicken leg.
You could see all of her tendons. You could see
Oh,
everything in her leg other than what the dog ate. And it was, I mean, so as a scientific part, it was amazing to see, obviously gross.
yeah.
Wow.
But I remember
You
I
can't
told
unsee that. That's
No,
the
you
thing.
can't.
You can't unsee it.
I told the coroner, I said, hey, bring your waders, right? The floods.
Uh-huh.
Because when your body, when you die and you're very obese, the fat melts.
Yeah.
Right. And
You're bloated too.
So I'm going to tell everybody
All the gases.
this. You'll remember this every time. It's kind of like, looks like movie popcorn butter. Popcorn butter on the movie.
That ruined it.
You're welcome.
That ruined it.
Wow.
And it was about this thick, about 1 inch to 2 inches thick, all over the entire kitchen floor. It was a small kitchen.
And the
So
heat.
she was literally melting. So I was like, I could see the dog sliding when it was stepping. So I told the coroner when he finally got there, I said, hey, if you fall down in there, I am not coming in to get you, because I'm not getting my uniform covered in that stuff. I will throw up. You'll have to burn me. You'll burn me alive.
Oh.
So I waited outside. He's like, did you clear the house? I said, nope. Anybody who's in here with this dog, this lady, and this smell for a month deserves to be here.
Yep.
Oh, she's
Right,
dead for a month. Oh,
Yeah, she was dead for probably at least a month. 4 weeks, yeah.
that's sad that she had nobody who was even looking for her.
In Vegas, it happens a lot. A lot of people move here. They don't really have family,
Yep.
right? They don't
Yep.
have a lot of people checking in on them. So a lot of times it's when you see the mailbox getting full, the newspapers stacked out front, not
Mhm.
being collected, the yard getting
It's usually the work
okay.
that calls in.
The worker.
The work.
Mhm.
Yeah, work. Yep. Yeah, coworker. So
I was going to
yeah,
say,
it does
hope nobody's
happen, though.
eating in
Right.
the chat.
Yeah,
When
right.
you're-
Put your burrito down.
When you're the first person on scene like that,
Mhm.
at least after the iPhone and all that came out, are you authorized, or can you, or should you take out your phone and start getting some preliminary
Absolutely.
photos before you?
It's against policy to take pictures of a crime scene, sir.
Are you talking about when we go to? Are you talking about what he just talked about, or
You
34
mean
Fairview?
for personal reasons?
No. Because you're the first person on scene,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure certain scenes you have to do things.
Well,
but
when
maybe
you have a
don't,
dead
you
body,
just wait for it.
CSI is coming out.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not taking any picture. When we have a confirmed 419, which is a dead body, like on this call with the lady who got eaten or her leg got eaten by the dog, CSI is coming out and the coroner's coming out. I don't take any pictures. Now I'm just going to get her info and what I saw at the scene, and then the coroner's going to do the rest.
You don't want to remember that stuff, Steve. You don't want to
No,
memorialize
and I'm not
that.
talking so a car wreck. I'm sure that people are out there taking pictures with their phones, but are you obligated, or
No.
should you?
No.
No.
No. The only time that we can document anything is if it's going to be deteriorating before CSI gets there.
Yeah.
We'll use any means to document.
She
That's why our
was.
camera's on.
That's why our body camera's on.
But if we need to see something that we can take that's why the department issued us phones, though.
Yes.
They issued us phones just for that purpose, to take pictures of the initial crime scene
Correct.
along with our camera.
Correct.
But that's not our first priority. That's after everything's static, house is clear, the person's already passed. We can take some pictures if the crime scene is going to deteriorate before CSI gets there.
Right. But on a dead body call, there's no rush, right? They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But do
Everything
you
is
secure
stopped.
the scene until CSI
Of course.
gets there, or do you
Oh,
just split?
absolutely. No. You don't leave. You don't leave. Once you're there, you stay there until everything is done. So usually on a dead body call, you're going to be there probably 1.5 to 3 hours. Easy.
We've said this plenty of times, but in Brian's officers involved shooting with him, he shot the guy, and we had that house cleared and taped before anybody arrived.
Yeah, before even the next officer arrived, we cleared the house, put up tape, and I walked down to both sides
And
of the street
Detained a
and
witness.
put tape up and detained the witness, his girlfriend. And we had just shot him. I had just shot the guy. He attacked me with 2 big knives, me and Gonzo, and I shot him. And he died right there in the front yard. But
we had that crime scene sealed and delivered
in 2 minutes.
Literally.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Literally.
Yeah,
But nobody was going in or out of it.
Yeah, inner and outer.
Did you find it odd that in the John O'Keefe murder that nobody took photos of the crime scene or the body or the placement of the body or measurements or any sort of evidence markers or anything like that?
Well, we talk about that when AMR
Utterly ridiculous.
is people, the ambulance drivers for us.
Yeah.
If they're gonna load and go, we'll cone out where the body was. Right. We'll put cones where the head was, the chest was, and 2 legs, just so we know where he was at for homicide.
Yeah, the fact that in this case they don't even know where his body was, is incredibly disturbing. Incredible, and it pisses me off. Like you have a dead officer, you don't know where his body was. Nobody took a single fucking picture. You basically did nothing for this guy. And that's why in our next video with Tell Us Canton, we're going to show what should have happened at that call.
Right. Maybe scour the neighborhood for ring camera footage of the accident.
Yeah. How about outer perimeter? How about you knock on that door and say, hey man, you got a dead guy on your front yard. You got some explaining to do. Do you know anything? What happened? Can we come in? I need to talk to you for a little bit.
The thing is if I would have heard that he was in the house and my initial thought that he got in a fight, I'm going to go in the house, make sure everybody's okay in that house. Do a safety sweep to begin with.
Got to do a safety
But
sweep.
then you go downstairs and you see a crime scene, then you freeze the house.
Like we've talked about, premise freeze.
Nobody goes in that downstairs.
Everybody out of the house. The house is now frozen. We get a search warrant, come in, bada bing, bada bang.
Vámonos.
We're good.
Like we say in Spanish.
Yeah, vámonos. Vámonos. Yeah. So yeah, it's appalling that they didn't take any pictures. The only picture really is the autopsy. Well, just the arm, really. Well, there's a couple, but that's completely frustrating and disheartening that they didn't do any of that stuff. No, it should have been done.
Do you think the investigation would have been different had it not been a Boston cop who owned the home?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, 100%. Listen, it's not that a police officer's unaliving is more important than a normal civilian, but we want to figure out why it happened so we can prevent it from happening again. You know, so that's why it's a little bit more intense when we're investigating a officer down type case.
Well, you got to remember the officer has a radio. The officer has a firearm. He's got ammunition on him. He's got less than lethal weapons on him. He's got a taser. He's got a baton. So when an officer is unalive, that it's a big deal because it shouldn't happen. Right. If you're in a domestic and you're living with a gangbanger or you're at a gangbanger party and stuff happens, I mean, that's just life, right? I mean, but an unalived cop is a different story.
Yeah.
And that's why they look at it so serious. Because it's not supposed to happen.
Right.
It's just like it's no different than if you went into a school and you found a teacher unalived, right? It would be a big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We're gonna say, Steve?
Let me get to some more super chats, guys. Lady Zelda Kelly, super chat, love your show. Miss Melanie, can you tell us about the new Rule 48 motion filed by the CW yesterday toward the defense, please? Thank you.
No, because I haven't seen a copy of it. My understanding is that it has not been scanned into the system yet, so I have not seen a copy of it. It's a motion for sanctions, but I don't know why or what they're asking for in the motion, so I can't give you any further details than that.
Yeah, I'll wait till you break it down so I understand what it is.
Yeah.
And it's a 3-day weekend, and the hearing is on Tuesday, so they just put it in the computer, but I don't think it was scanned in unless somebody has a copy of it since last night, which is the last time I looked. So thank you, Zelda. If I do get a copy of it, I'll go live with it later today, but haven't seen it yet.
There you go.
Thank you, Zelda. I thought this was a cute comment, Brian. Peppermint says, I'm addicted to lip balm too, Brian. So cute.
Yeah, me too, man. I go through chapstick. You know what's nice is when I was back east, I didn't need the chapstick really. But out here in Vegas, it's like every 10 minutes.
No, you need it right next to you at all times when you're on the camera.
I have one in my pocket at all times. I have, when I was a cop, I had one right in my front pocket of my police uniform.
Always.
I could never go anywhere without chapstick.
I get my chapstick off my wife's lips, son.
But you're a good man.
Yeah, thank you.
You carry your wife everywhere you go.
I do.
Okay.
And she's in his pocket.
Yeah, she's in his pocket. She's fun size too.
Kelly Reed. Let's go. Send a super chat. Thank you, Kelly.
Kelly, my douche. Horns up.
Great show. I'd love to see you all
Season
come
2.
together to share your experiences before season 2 of that persecution.
Execution of Karen Reed. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The
Scary.
sequel might be better than the original. I don't know
I
how that
agree.
could be possible, but
I agree. I think the sequel
could
will
be.
be better than the OG.
Yeah, not guilty.
it would be nice if it got canceled before the season started.
It
but
would
you know,
be incredible. That's what I kind of was thinking. You know, they were bringing in this Whitey Bulger guy as a scare tactic, and you know, because the evidence doesn't change. You can't change it. Everything, all the testimony that they've given.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
the
change it.
testimony can change because they'll just say, "Oh, it's an oversight."
Well,
Oh, it was an oversight.
no,
the new evidence keeps revealing itself now. Now all of a sudden there's more surveillance video from the Canton PD Sally Port. All of a sudden,
Mm.
who knows what
Have
else
you-
they'll come up with?
Have you had any witnesses as police officers as like any of these guys that took the stand?
No.
Melanie?
I've never seen anything like it.
Wow.
Who was your favorite?
Who's my favorite witness during that trial?
Yeah.
Like the officer.
I mean, I thought that Trooper Paul's was just, you know, that was comical. That was comedy gold, that testimony, right?
He was awesome. Yeah, he was.
I mean, it was
I felt bad
fantastic.
for him,
And
but-
then my favorite law enforcement officer that testified was the officer from Dighton, Barros. He came on, he was a straight shooter. He had no agenda, he had no personal connection to anyone.
yeah,
And he said that the taillight was cracked.
it's so easy when you just tell the truth.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just like that
Court should be very simple.
just like that rookie cop. Right.
Sarah or Melanie?
Yeah.
Was it Sarah or Melanie?
I don't know. I think it was Melanie. No,
Melanie.
I don't know. But he was a straight shooter too, because he wasn't privy to the info.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And you know who my absolutely favorite was?
Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky man. Yeah. I love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Court is amazingly simple when you just tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the truth doesn't change.
Correct.
It does not change.
It
You don't have to-
doesn't. It is what it is.
You don't have to keep your story straight. That's for sure.
Mhm.
And I wonder if we're ever going to know what happened with this case, like the real 100% truth. I don't think we'll get that. What about you, Mel? You think?
Well, I mean, I don't think the physical evidence is there. I mean, the investigation was so bungled from the beginning. I mean, unless an eyewitness comes out and says, "Here's
Correct.
what I saw happen," and here's what
Or
happened, and they're an
if-
eyewitness to it.
Right. Or if one of them grows a conscience,
Mm-hmm.
all of a
Same,
sudden
yeah,
just
same
says,
thing, right?
you know, hey, I did it, or we did it, and blah blah blah.
Mm.
But I think they're probably in so deep now that
Yeah,
it's
take it to the
now,
grave.
yeah, now you have to. You just have to full steam ahead. Fuck it. This is what we. This is.
There's
going
gonna be some that's gonna fall on the sword. I'm telling you.
I think something's going to happen to somebody. You know, I think something's going to happen to somebody.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people. You know, it's hard for everybody to stick to the script.
Mm-hmm.
And keep everything going. I mean, that's why I think Jen messed up so bad in court. Her by Jackson, man, she was a mess.
Stumbling over her own broom. That witch.
She was.
All right,
Shock-
Blessed in Texas gifted
shock
one
and
membership. Thank you, and also Blessed in Texas, $2 super chat. Gonzo looking handsome in your cowboy.
Cowboy hat.
My wife's gonna be jealous now.
His
I'm
hat's so
loving that
big.
hat today.
You have a couple of them, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I
Have
gotta
you
get
seen those? I don't even know who it's for. The commercials where the kids are born with heads shaped like hats, and it was a Super Bowl commercial. You saw it? Yeah, it's weird. Like they have Harry Potter shaped heads and cowboy hat shaped heads. And anyway, sorry.
commercial, you idiot. It's CGI.
Oh, I know it's not real.
Oh, thanks, Cat's Meow.
Super chat from Cat's Meow. Great show. I'd follow Melanie anywhere. Love your girl. P.S. Defense needs to focus on the taillight not being broken when towed from Dighton.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
agree.
why aren't they harping on that?
I mean, I
Why
think they
is it there?
did. I think Barrows said it was just cracked. Nobody took a
Right.
picture of it. Why did nobody take a picture of it? Every
Right,
time
and-
you ever have AAA come and tow your car, they take pictures from every angle. They take 400 pictures because they don't want to be
Mhm.
responsible for the damage. I
Liability.
mean, that's
Yep.
it's custom. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
they're supposed to do. That's procedure. Take a picture.
Well,
pictures of the
there,
vehicle.
there is actual video of it being cracked when she backs up into
At
the
the
vehicle.
driveway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one you need right
Yeah.
there. It shows that
Yep.
impact would absolutely just crack that plastic.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
they've got an accident reconstructionist who is coming in now for the defense who wants to show that exact thing and come in and testify about that.
Yep.
He wants to recreate the accident. He wants access to both vehicles and the driveway so that he can take measurements and show that
because
that's
Arca
cracked.
didn't even know that they had the car still in custody. What does that tell you?
Because they were hired by the FBI.
What do you think the FBI is going to do in this?
My crystal ball's broken. I have
Yeah.
no idea. I don't, nobody knows if they were investigating Birchmore and they stumbled upon Reed, if it was vice versa, if they were investigating decades of corruption in the office. Nobody really knows what their focus initially was.
They're still probably going through those 36,000 text messages that they lost
on Birchmore.
know?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I really hope that they get a discovery and they start cleaning house.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Yep.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but I hope they find the head of the snake, cut it off
they'll
and
resign.
slowly.
They'll resign.
Because if I was a Fed and I came in and you're like, and I saw all this, I'd be like, all right, stop. Proctor, I need every single case you've ever done your entire life. And I'm going to go over every single one of them.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to rest knowing that there might be innocent people in jail?
Yep. Yep.
Right? Because this is not the first time they've done this.
I mean, I don't know
This
if
is
that's the
not
FBI's function, but the
I don't know
internal
either,
affairs.
but how as Americans can we sit here and say, okay, there's a cop right there.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to put this girl who we believe is innocent behind bars. Who else has he done that to?
Right. Well, every defendant who's in jail right now, whose case was investigated by Proctor, is banging on the jailhouse doors like, you got to let me out too. Just like everybody who was convicted off of Celebrite data, who's now going to come out and say, listen, Norfolk County doesn't believe in Celebrite data. They say it's not accurate. Therefore, let me out.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Right.
Pillars are shaking. Pillars are shaking.
Pillars are shaking. Yeah. I really hope. I just hope somebody with a conscience comes forward and says, look, this is what we need to do here, and get behind me and let's do it. Because if not, I don't think it's never going to change. Right? It's never going to change. If you don't change the people, you don't cut the head of the snake
Change
off.
people.
I know. It's disheartening.
All right, we got another super. This one's from Tracy Fagan.
Explain
reasonable doubt.
Yeah, that was another issue. They didn't have enough time for closing. They only had an hour each, which was nowhere near enough time to,
Why did they do that?
Explain all of the testimony that took place over 9 or 10 weeks. I mean,
Why do you think they did that? Gave them just an hour.
That was the judge's rule. I don't know why. They definitely need at least 2 hours each, at least.
So she decides that.
Yeah, that was the judge's rule.
Okay.
Nowhere near enough time.
Okay.
I got a super from Joss Girl. Will Yannetti use opening Karen Reed was framed?
I hope so. That was one of the most powerful openings I've ever seen. I hope so.
Got a super chicker.
Chicker.
I bet him. Chloe. Thank you. I bet him.
Do we know where Chloe is now? They said they rehomed her, right?
Yeah, they took pictures.
Well, they
of
went
her.
to visit her. They found her. I don't know
That's
where
what
she
they
was,
said.
but they had their expert go visit her and maybe even take a bite mold. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I talked about that. When you're taking a bite mold, it's a stationary bite. The dog's not moving, the body's not moving, so it's not going to be the same comparison unless they held John O'Keefe's arm and Chloe took a straight bite. Then you might have some that's similar, but it's not going to be the same when you're comparing it to John O'Keefe's arm. It's not.
And how do we know it was actually Chloe?
Right.
Yeah, well, we don't know any of that stuff. But also,
Well, how could they even? How
they're
did they
trying
let
to keep
that in
their
if you
expert
don't know?
out because the judge said during the last trial, nobody can give an opinion with regard to the cause of injuries other than a medical doctor. This new expert that they're trying to bring in the Commonwealth for the second trial is not a medical doctor. He's a dog behaviorist who studies canine aggression. He's the one they took to visit what they claim is the alleged Chloe. It's been 3 years. Dogs' mouths change. And also, arms when they're being bitten are not. It's not a mannequin. It's an arm that is pulling away. So
Yeah, you're pulling back.
that's one of the latest motions that dropped last week to keep that expert out.
Maybe I should go. I'm a dog whisperer. Maybe I should go up there.
Welcome to Teresa, who's a new member. And
Thank you.
we've got
Thank you,
a
Teresa.
Super from Decline. Love all you guys. Awesome show. Thank you.
Thank you, Decline.
Muchas gracias.
If Chloe
Another one
bit,
from-
you must have quit.
That's so funny.
I love it.
Thank you. I bit him.
If Chloe quit,
Uh,
bit, you must have quit.
Hard
No, that's it.
plastic
Hard
and-
plastic and static mannequin. Well done. Well done.
Yeah. They should have crossovers.
What do you think about
I should have crossed the officer who met Karen's parents' house to tow the car that stayed the tail that was cracked and not in a million pieces. Yeah, I mean, a lot of shouldas.
Listen, a good lawyer never asks a question that they don't know the answer to. So
true?
if he did not speak to them before trial and they did not know what he was going to say and they thought they had enough out of him, you don't ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
So
Just like Darden shouldn't
fault
have
them
asked
for that.
OJ to put on the glove when it had been soaked in blood. And,
Yeah.
Cupcake,
Better
member
jury
for 2
instructions.
months. Thank you.
Mhm.
Better jury instructions.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Melanie, what did you think of the jury instructions?
I thought they were hella confusing. I've been an attorney for 3 decades. I had trouble understanding those jury instructions.
Okay.
But, they have pattern jury instructions in every state that are written by panels of lawyers and judges, and I found them to be
Right.
very confusing. I think that
Okay.
was a big part of the problem.
That's not normal then for like New York. You guys don't do it that way.
Well, attorneys have conferences with the judge before the judge charges the jury, and they submit the jury instructions they want read, and they submit clarifications. And so those were all agreed on, but those just may be, and I'm not quite familiar with all the Massachusetts jury instructions, those might be the instructions that as written, but the judge did say in her own words, I'm going to tell you some things and some things are going to be written and you can bring them back. But if there's any conflict, go by what I say, not by what's written. And then she also told them, do not come back to me with any of the sheets filled out until you have reached an agreement on all of the charges. So that is what I think confused them. That is why they did not say or fill out the sheets that they acquitted on 2 counts, allegedly, and hung on only 1.
How many were on their sheet? 4?
There
4
were 3
charges?
sheets. The first one was murder in the 2nd degree. The second was manslaughter, but it had a number of lesser includeds listed below it.
Right.
And the 3rd sheet was leaving the scene of an accident causing personal injury or death.
Okay.
What do you think of the prosecution requesting all of Karen Reed's interviews? Is that a common practice?
Yeah, they're
To do
entitled
that?
to it.
Are
The
they?
defense didn't even oppose it. Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just-
any interviews that she gave, they want, the cutting room floor footage, the stuff they didn't air.
Yeah.
There's no journalist privilege in Massachusetts. It's one of a handful of states that does not recognize any sort of journalist shield or privilege. So the notes didn't have to be turned over for one of the reporters because she claimed that she was getting death threats and things. But any unaired footage is fair game, and the defense didn't oppose it.
Yeah.
Listen, if Karen Reed confessed during any of that unaired footage, you can bet they would have aired that part of it, right? It would have been the
for
greatest
sure.
scoop of the year.
For sure.
Yeah, that's why I've said this before. I don't think anybody should do any interviews. I think you should just wait till it's all over. Maybe I'm wrong, but like if I was in Karen's shoes, I wouldn't want to. I know I want to get it out there that I'm innocent and this and that, but when you have one of the biggest cases in the world, they're gonna literally tear apart every single word you say. I don't think I would want to do any interviews with anybody. I would just wait until this whole thing is done. Then I would go out and give my interviews. What do you think?
I think they tear apart every single thing about her anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
I
But I'm
mean,
saying
I'm
if you're
not
out
on
giving
Twitter.
interviews, now you're offering more information that maybe during this case you might not want to. Maybe just sit, let it cook, and let the case go, and then after it's done, then you do all your interviews. interviews. But it's just me. But
Yeah, I disagree. I think she needs to be out there. I think she needs to put her face out there just to let people know what's going on.
well, you can do that,
Right.
I'm saying interviews.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Doing interviews. Hey, this is what's happening in my story, and I want everybody. And how do you reach people? The news and social media, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So I think she's doing good things by doing that.
Okay.
Exposing the world to her case.
Yeah.
And
No,
putting the pressure on the prosecution that you have to prove to the jury that I did this.
Yeah.
With the evidence that you have, because the
Okay.
public puts a lot of pressure on politics.
You know, there are people who say, why isn't she out there screaming, it's not, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And so now she is. And then they get mad about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
but
You can't win.
you can't be
can't
forced to
win.
testify, right? Because of the Fifth Amendment, but you
Mhm.
are allowed to speak to the media. Would I advise it? I don't know. I think Karen wants to tell her story,
Mhm.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
right? No, I mean, I
no.
can see both sides of that, but I don't think that she said anything that they're going to be able to use to prove that
Right.
she really hit John with her car, because the physical evidence, in my opinion, does not prove that.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
And
and
like
a
I said,
woman who's hysterical running around a scene saying, could I have hit him? Did I hit him? I mean, is the first thing that's going to come to your mind when you pull up and find your boyfriend dead on the lawn where you dropped them off the night before that other people did this, right? Are you going to think that perhaps somebody beat the hell out of him and left him out there? Or are you going to think, oh my God, and perhaps she was being gaslit on the way there, you know? I wonder, did you hit him? Who knows? We don't know because we haven't heard Karen tell her side. And the only way she can tell her side is through these interviews. So I don't know.
It probably came out to the point that maybe the snowplow hit him and then morphed into, did you hit him? Could you have hit him? And that's how they were gaslighting her, in my opinion, right? They were leading her on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if she did hit him, I've said this before, it don't matter because that wouldn't have killed him.
Well, the computer in the car said the wheels are spinning 20, or the car was moving 24 or 26 miles an hour.
24 miles an hour.
Backwards in the snow.
Yep.
Me being from Idaho, you can't get up to 26 miles an hour without spinning your tires. 24 without spinning your tires going backwards. So that's even a hard job because you have ruts.
Right.
Well,
all that stuff. So I don't.
We've been there.
It doesn't work.
We've been there. I think Melanie, you've been to the 34 Fairview.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. I mean, we've been there, and when we were driving straight on dry, it was a dry day, doing 25.
It was fast.
It was fast.
Yeah.
So
you
to be in reverse, you have a little turn. So to do it in reverse, 24 miles an hour in the snow seems very difficult. Yeah. Seems very difficult.
Yeah.
And like I said, even if she did hit him,
it's not going to kill him.
It's not going to kill him. That's not what killed him.
No.
If she did hit him, how come all the people that were looking out the window the whole time didn't see it happen or hear it happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I run over a rock and I stop to see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't. You got a big ass truck. You don't even.
I
feel
still
rocks.
do. I still do.
You don't feel rocks.
Still do. Compensating for something.
All right, guys. Let me get through a few more supers and member milestones. I guess Cheryl with an S has been a member for a month.
Okay.
Saying it's a great collab. Thank you, and free
Thank you, Cheryl. What is that tattoo? Cool tattoo.
Tattoo. Oh yeah, butterfly.
Is that tattoo?
I thought it was a cat.
No, it's I like the purple. That's cool.
Morrissey's iCloud, a member for 2 months. Love this panel. Cupcakes and donuts.
Cupcakes and donuts.
Hard plastic static mannequin.
We haven't
You
given
remember?
her.
Oh, thank you.
I know. I'm going to give her 12 donuts.
We're gonna rate Melanie with donuts.
Yep. 12 donuts for Melanie.
12 donuts for Melanie.
Yep.
Already.
It's the third time it's happened in our career.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
We'll give you 12 donuts, Melanie. 12 donuts.
If you ever come to Vegas, we'll give them to you in person.
She's going to be here next month.
I know. Have to hit us up. We'll get lunch.
Okay, good.
We'll do lunch or whatever if you want to.
Sure.
Got a super from Mark Cunningham. Haha. Let's remember it's a side swipe, and he went 30 feet, and Canton found 0 pieces. Love you all, and thanks for what you do.
The
Also,
math
no
is the math.
caution tape, right?
Yeah, it's really not. That's why I say, even if she did hit him, don't care.
He did
Didn't
three.
kill him.
He did 3 pirouettes to get that.
And no bruises on his arm.
Exactly.
Letteros by Bettero, Super
Ours
Chat.
die?
Thank you.
They're dead.
Mine's dying.
Yeah, mine's dead.
You guys got a backup?
Yeah.
Gotta change him.
Stand by to stand by.
Stand
like they say in the
by.
military.
Stand by. Stand by.
Thank you, Letteros by Betteros, loving our queen with our LV Cops. Thank you for the great show. Free Karen Reed now.
Thank you.
Sorry, our
Mary Pat.
AirPods
You guys can hear me, right?
died. Yeah. Yeah.
$10 super from Mary Pat. Thank you. And Mary Pat says, thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Mary Pat. And you're quite welcome.
Got a super from Della Sandor. Asks, does Proctor's emotion show his personal stake?
What do you guys think?
Well,
Yeah.
hey,
He was
I'll
shell
go.
shocked.
Okay.
Yeah. At first, I think he was a little not cocky, but he was very. I'm here. It's messing me up. But I think he was cocky at first, and then when he started having to say everything in the text and everything, it got bad.
Hold on. Hold on. It's connecting again.
Stand by. We have technical difficulties.
Oh,
You know when you're talking and there's a delay, and
it's so annoying, isn't it? You could hear yourself.
yeah, and then you can't even think about what you want to say. We're actually Gonzo's on his computer changing it right now.
Stand by to stand by.
So Melanie, let me ask you this, since they're
Mhm.
having technical difficulties. What do you like to do for fun in New York? What do you in your downtime?
I don't have any free time. I'm a concert person. I love my live music. I love concerts. That's what I do. That's
Nice.
the way I spend my time.
Okay,
When
so
I
let
have
me ask you
free time.
this: what's some of your favorite bands?
Well, so I'm a Deadhead, so you can see the poster behind me.
Deadhead? Yep. I see that.
That's one of the bands that I
Dancing
still
Bears.
follow around to this day. They're now Dead and Company with John Mayer. They're coming back to Las Vegas. You guys are coming to the Sphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dave Matthews is another favorite that I follow
Dave
around
Matthews.
when I have the
Yeah.
opportunity. And
Mhm.
so that's pretty much I do. I live for live music.
That's
Way
awesome.
to reset
Yeah.
the balance of life, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I love seeing live bands. I took my daughters and I went to see 21 Pilots here in
Oh, yeah.
Vegas. That was a cool show. For two guys, they put on probably one of the coolest shows I've ever seen. For a whole I know it's a whole production, but for two guys, man, it's amazing. I was an old Rush head. I liked Rush.
Oh,
the
yeah.
way you like the Dead. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've seen Rush more times than any other band.
Oh, wow.
Them and Van Halen, Dream Theater. I've seen a bunch, but there's nothing like live music.
Mhm.
You know, it's frees your soul.
It really does. Makes you
Yeah.
realize, especially if you listen to country music, it makes you realize how good your life is.
Well, yeah, when you listen to country music is all about sad. Your dog dying and your wife leaving.
Yeah, and your truck breaking
And your
down.
truck
Your
breaking
tractor's
down.
gone.
What do you get when you play country music backwards? Get your dog back, you get your truck back, you get your wife.
Well, there you go. I've never heard that.
Dang,
But
I'm
I'm
gonna use
pumped.
that joke. That's a good one. That's a good one.
The smell
Meatball
of
Morrissey.
decomp is
Yeah,
so
the smell of
unforgiving.
decomp is so unforgiving.
It sticks on
Happy
you.
to have
You
never
have to-
smelled it.
You
You've
have to go
never-
change your
never smelled a
uniform.
dead body, Melanie?
No, thank God.
No. Okay.
And
Oh,
I'm
when you
very
come to
happy that I
Vegas.
haven't.
Yeah.
very
When she
distinct.
comes to Vegas, we can hook her up, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
No,
get you on a
no,
ride-along.
I'm
Get you on
good.
a ride
I'm
along.
good.
Yeah. It's a smell you never forget.
Yep.
I'm not bashing country music. I like it. It's just an old joke.
Yeah, it's a sweet, pungent smell. It's
I mean, the
something you
Grateful
never
Dead had
forget.
played a lot of country music, a lot of bluegrass, a lot of folk music.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
it all.
Yep. Yep.
We got a super from Decline. I'm not sure if they're referencing Chloe or what. What would happen to the dog?
I
I'm not
think she's
sure. I
referencing.
apologize.
She's referencing the country music joke.
Well, this was.
Oh, or the dog that was eating
was
the
a
dead
Bavarian.
body that you were talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
earlier.
what
I don't
happened to
know.
the dog? Oh, okay. You know what? I'll clarify for that. A dog that has eaten a person or part of a person, they have to be put down. And it's not because people think, oh, because they'll eat again or they'll start attacking humans. No, this dog, when he ate this lady's leg, he was so sick. That's what with the green mucus coming all out of his nose, his eyes, his mouth. He was very sick. You can't eat human. So he was
that to the cannibals.
when the animal control showed up, I asked her what's going to happen to the dog, and she says the dog has to be put down because it's actually dying anyway. So they're going to die.
Oh,
so this
sad.
one, it was
That's
put
sad.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, we got a super from Charmaine Lily. I'm calling Lexus CEO. I paid extra for an add-on bonus tail light package to include pork DNA. I didn't get my upgrade like Karen did.
That's an expensive upgrade.
That
man.
is an
I'm telling
upgrade. That's like a $10,000 upgrade.
you. Good luck to you.
Thank you for the super. Barbara Dulong. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a super chicker or what, but thank you for the $20.
Thank you, Barbara.
Barbara's awesome.
Nobody.
And I saw this. I wanted
That
to
is
grab it.
Yep,
That's right.
that is 100% true.
100% true.
It just makes our
Brian's
job
line.
that much harder,
It's so much harder.
right?
Yeah, and then you got to fix everything that bad cops have done. Ugh.
One bad citizen is equal to 20 good citizens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because you get beat down when you pull them over, you're getting raked over the coals, and you're just doing your job, right? I wouldn't be pulling you over if you didn't break the law, right?
Yeah.
Now you have to deal with me, right? Now I have to, officer's discretion. I can either cite or warn that person,
Yep.
right? And typically, when I would get those really harsh ones, if I ran their records and they were good drivers and they're just having a bad day, whatever, and don't like cops,
Right.
I would always give them a warning, just so I can make them hump over to the
Yep.
maybe side, right?
Well, I did the same
It's a
thing.
tough deal, man.
You want to try to make them have the best encounter you can with the police. That's
Yeah.
what I always did.
Yeah.
That way they didn't say, man, all cops are assholes.
Yeah.
So they were like, man, this cop was funny. He was cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good strategy. I like that.
Yeah,
Brian,
that's how I did my whole career.
Yeah.
You know, I would pull people over, Melanie, and say, hey, tell me a joke, and I'll let you know.
Yep.
And if the joke was bad, then you would.
Even
Go
if
to
it was
jail.
bad, even if it was bad, I would still laugh a little bit at least. And I would say, okay, you're free to go. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they were like, most of them were like, really? Are you
Yeah.
serious? And I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Or yes, sir.
Yeah.
You're free to go.
Oh,
Have a
that's
great day.
nice.
Thank you.
That's-
And yeah,
that's
I used to do
heartwarming.
that all the time. Yeah, I used to do that a lot. And it made me feel good. It made them feel good. And it was just, to me, good community policing.
Yeah.
well, Brian, this is a direct quote from you when you were speaking to Karen at the fundraiser.
Oh, yeah. Nobody hates bad cops more than good cops. Correct. Yes.
We've got a super from Meatball Morrissey, Sketty Stain. I worked crime scene cleanup for a few years. I was the only female. Starting pay was $35 an hour. Back in 2011, on call 24/7, 365. Brain stains.
It's got to be hard work.
It really is. You see the worst of the worst.
Ooh, yeah.
And especially when you realize that another human did this to this person. You know, it's hard on a police officer's psyche. It really is, because you're seeing that kind of stuff every day, and you're getting beat down by the public that you're there to protect them and die for them on a call that you don't even know these people and you're willing to die for.
I know.
You know,
I know.
Our lives, Melanie, were worth $49 an hour is what they were worth.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy job, but it's a good job.
Yeah.
Except for on overtime.
Yeah,
overtime's
overtime's
good. Overtime's good.
That's one of the worst things you can, as a cop, is seeing how horrible people are to other people.
Yep.
And how bad people can hurt people that they love.
Yep.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like literally hurt them. I mean, I'm talking the worst stuff that you could ever think of.
But you know what though, Brian, honestly, and this is my opinion only, the physical damage it sticks with you, right? It heals, but it's a psychological damage,
Of course.
you know, that sticks forever,
I know.
right?
I know.
Forever.
Yeah.
And people are too proud, even cops and military as well, are too proud to seek for help.
Yeah.
And people are blind sometimes when there's a cry for help, like an attempt,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Yeah.
he's just trying to get attention.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
No, you're right.
They're hurting. They got some type of demons in their closet that they're struggling with.
Yeah.
But people don't want to get involved anymore because it's their problem, not mine. Right. So there's a big change that needs to happen with how people communicate with people. You know, back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, there was a lot more camaraderie within neighbors, right? I mean, I know my neighbors because I'm a cop and I want to know who's around me, but there's people that live next to each other, will never know each other for all their lives.
Whole life,
You know, so there's got to be some change in that. I hope these smartphones make us dumber again, because before these smartphones came along, I knew people's phone numbers.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well, Metro's doing a good thing with the awareness, the mental health stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of other agencies are starting to go that way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, shit, I'm going myself.
Yeah.
You know, I go every couple of weeks, talk to somebody, and
that's a big deal.
It's good. Yeah. I mean, it shut up. It does take a lot. You really have to do some soul searching and say to yourself, like, can I handle this myself, or do I need help? And most guys want to just suffer through it. A lot of men will.
Men and women.
A lot of men and women, will suffer silently.
Yeah.
And I did that, and it's hard. It's hard, and it gets frustrating because you're looking for answers and you don't know how to get them. So then you got to go get help. So I did it.
There's no shame in it. I mean, listen,
That's
everybody
right.
should be able to talk to somebody for an hour a week and, unload all their trauma dump on somebody else and then walk away and have them tell you you're not crazy and then all good.
Yeah.
Good. See you next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you need help,
Get
you're
it.
an officer or military,
Or anyone.
don't be scared.
Anyone.
Yeah. Anybody. Yeah. Anybody. I
Anybody.
agree.
Anybody.
Yeah.
All right. Kimberly G
Demons in the
recommends Burt B's Ultra Conditioning over chest.
I thought that said.
That's what I use. I use Burt's Bees. That's all I use. And the only reason I don't have Burt's Bees today is because I ran out. And my daughter gave me I don't know, whatever this is, Vaseline stick or something, but it sucks. So I got to go back to my Burt's Bees.
I think that's glue.
Yeah.
No, it's
Crazy.
Vaseline,
Crazy glue.
lip balm, but I don't know. All right.
Hey, Melanie, do you have any questions for us?
Howdy.
Yeah, I mean, I had a
We
lot
got
of
a-
questions about what they did. I think you guys answered them, Do you have logs of everyone who comes on the scene, of all the officers that come on? Do you
Yep.
have sign in and sign out logs? They didn't have any of that stuff for when they were
There's
finding
one-
that tail light later.
There's one officer that's always assigned to be the scribe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and he stands around the crime scene, and if you're trying to get in, he's going to get your name, badge number, and where you work.
Mhm.
He will be the first person you see at the crime scene because he will come up to you going, "Stop, where are you going?"
Yep.
I need to know who you are, your name, what's your badge number, what's everything.
Yep.
So did you
Everything.
find that
Okay, sir.
unusual that when the CERT team came and they started all of a sudden finding the taillight pieces, that there was no log of anybody who was on scene, and that the guy who was in charge of the scene said, "Oh yeah, there were 3 guys there, but I don't know who
Yeah.
they were. They were
I
plain
don't
clothes.
remember
I
who they were.
assumed
Like,
they were
there's only
police
6
officers."
dudes on your department. How the fuck do you not know who was there?
Right.
There's like 6 guys.
Yeah.
You know who? You're all buddies, right?
That's the problem. They're all buddies.
Right.
Yeah.
We got a super from Lisa Lou 7. How detailed do you think MSP and Canton PD department manuals be for the use of impeachment of the police witnesses? Taking photos, videos, interviews. Well, we've seen the manuals, but I don't know if they actually follow the manual in there.
Yeah. Somebody was talking about the perjury too, like if they're caught lying on the stand. But Melanie, have you had anybody caught for perjury?
They don't prosecute perjury very often. I mean, the last
Right.
time that I remember perjury being prosecuted, there was a horrible case out of New Hampshire.
Okay.
It was the Harmony Montgomery case, and her father, Adam Montgomery, was accused of taking her life very horrifically and tragically. And the wife, or the mother of Harmony, perjured herself, and she was convicted for that, for lying to the grand jury, and put in prison. But it doesn't happen very often.
Right. So you've seen it once in 30 years.
I mean, that's the most recent example that I can think of.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never seen it in my career. I don't think. Gee, have you ever seen it?
Mm.
Yeah, it's so hard to go after perjury because it's so hard to prove it, right? And then it's only a misdemeanor, right? Right. So, no.
It depends. If you lie to the feds, it may be a felony,
Right. Yeah.
Oof.
right?
Yeah, but it's so hard to prove. You know, you have to really mess up bad.
It's an oversight.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time?
I don't think
Steve?
they even look at their department manuals because if they did, they
Oh,
would have collected the
I was-
evidence and everything properly.
I was going to say this. I did look at their manual where it was their court appearance and court procedures, and on the very bottom it says law enforcement officers shall tell the truth, not will, shall tell the truth, right? So that doesn't sound like you should or
It should be a will.
you
You
will tell the truth.
tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of odd.
Say, well, you know, depends on the situation. If you feel like you want to lie, go ahead. It's okay. But you know,
Exactly. That's interesting.
I think there's just a lot of I don't recall, I don't remember, I don't recall, I can't remember.
yeah.
Especially the boy. What was his name? Colin.
Tristan,
Oh,
he said
Colin.
I don't remember. He
Tristan.
didn't remember anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You know when a kid's lying if you raised one. That guy was lying all day long.
Yeah. They were all lying. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Especially Jen. Jen was, I think, she was like the. big
I saw
iceberg.
her mouth moving, and all I saw was bullshit coming out. That's all it was. That's all it was. That's all it
Because
was.
we weren't even going to review Jen, and then we were like, you know what? Because she's not a cop, you know. But then we were like, yeah, we got to do her.
Yeah.
She's gold.
Yep. How are we doing on time for you there,
Well-
Melanie? We good?
Yeah, I got to get off soon. We've been here for what, 2 hours? Yeah,
Yeah,
shortly.
almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was hoping, could you guys hear me okay? I changed mics.
Yeah.
I was hoping to just pop on and read a few supers, but ever since I popped on, they started going crazy, and which we love. Thank you so much. But I mean, I can just, if you rapid fire through them, I feel bad not addressing them, but we can't really spend much time on them. Or if you want to talk to Melanie a bit more, and then we can let her go, and then we can go
Wrap it
through the
up?
supers after.
Yeah,
let's do
we'll
that.
That way, when she's not just sitting here
Yeah.
staring at a screen, going, "All right,
Oh, it's okay.
All
Okay.
right.
I know about these supers, dude."
I will say this. And even in your live streams, when I get in there, pop in and watch, your chats are amazing. All of our chats are amazing people.
Yeah.
that just
You really
hammer
are.
it out, right?
Dude, we have some comedians. I love it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I love
Oh,
some
yeah.
of them. When I read, because I read
They're
every
quick,
comment.
too.
Man, they're
Quick.
funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good.
Well, hopefully, Melanie, this next series of court proceedings are going to be as entertaining as the last one was.
Yes.
I'm looking
Yes.
forward to it. I'm looking forward to you breaking down those court documents so well because it makes me understand them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
How long does it
well,
take you to break one of those down?
Sometimes I do it on the fly. Sometimes I don't even get a chance to read them before I go on screen. And so I just do a cold read. And, I've been doing it for so long that it's,
Yeah.
it's not
Second nature.
rocket science
Yeah.
for me. But
Correct.
it's just things I don't schedule a lot of my shows. A lot of my shows are just based on breaking news, and I'll just get it and grab it, put it up and go. So
Wow, you're unscripted like LVCopsTV.
oh yeah,
Very
I mean,
unscripted.
totally unscripted. You can't. I mean, I plan and I have a bullet. I have a list of things in my head that I want to talk about. I don't always get to all of them, but
Right.
it's this is the business that we're in, is breaking news. So
What did
I'll
you
be
think about
available.
What did you think about Ellenberg, the case in Philly, the teacher?
oh, Ellen Greenberg. Yeah,
Yeah, or
I mean, that
yeah,
case has been
Greenberg,
out there
sorry.
for a long time.
It has.
And I really have not had a chance to look into it, but it never seemed to me like it was a suicide. So I don't know what the hell was going on, but
Yeah.
now it seems like they're going to reopen the investigation.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, the
I really
family
don't
sued.
haven't had a chance to dig into it yet. A lot of people have been asking me to, but so many cases, so little time. And when I cover cases, I don't want to give it like a half-assed,
Yep.
run down and get things wrong because, like, from the Karen Reed case, people who know the details know the details, and you better know the details. Otherwise,
You're gonna get blown apart.
yeah,
Mhm, yeah.
right.
Well, I mean, Everybody
A
must
lot,
have it
so
over
many
there.
Yeah.
cases, so little time. So I picked
Yeah.
the ones that I'm really passionate about, and those are the ones that I don't like to shallow dive anything, you know.
Gotcha.
But yeah, a lot of people are very outraged about Ellen Greenberg, and they should be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a strange case. I've dove into it, but I'm going to dig into it a little bit deeper, especially now
Yeah.
since they're going to reopen it. So I'll send you what
That means work. That means work for Gooch.
that means work for Gonzo.
Yep.
Might be a future video in it.
Might
I
be.
don't know. It's just the evidence. I don't know.
Well, with that said, you got anything else?
No.
We're good. Melanie, thank you so much for
Melanie. Yep.
Oh, thanks for
joining
having
us.
me, you guys. It was fun.
Big day for LV Cops TV.
Yeah. Yeah. This was
Oh,
looking
thanks
forward
for
to
having me. I
Looking forward
appreciate
to it.
you.
So
Hope I'll see you guys again
Thank you.
soon.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you
Melanie.
for your
Anytime.
say hi to all your subs.
Bye,
Plus
guys.
all your
Thanks for coming
knowledge. Thank
over.
you.
Yep.
Bye.
Thanks
All
for
your
coming
knowledge.
over.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
See you, Melanie.
Bye.
Wow.
All right.
Talk
That was-
about a superstar. You know what we need to do? We need to get a sticker made, you know, and just put Melanie Short, first superstar that we had on our show.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. She's awesome, man. She's awesome.
knowledge, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge.
Knowledge is power.
And it just goes to show that she is very knowledgeable because she'll grab those documents and go right off the cuff, you know.
Well, it's
That's training and
an experience. Yeah.
right?
Because it, and I was going to tell her, it's just like us when we do a police video. We don't need anything other than that video.
Because we can walk the walk.
I
'cause
can.
walk-
We walked it. We
Yeah.
lived it. I don't need anything. I'll tell you what I see and what I feel.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, Steve. You want to get
Hop
some of
in.
the super chats?
Alrighty. Yeah, she's great.
My pad over here.
She's great. And we've got a ton of super chats. We appreciate all of you. I know some of the questions were probably for Melanie. But let's get through them. And,
Yeah, this one was more to get to know Melanie, see how she thinks, and what she feels, about the Karen Reed coming up in the second.
Know the
trial.
woman behind the screen.
Yeah, behind the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a
This
$5
wasn't really
super
about the questions today.
from Greg. I think they might all throw Higgins under the bus this time.
Wow.
That would be awesome.
No game Higgy.
That would be awesome.
You better use some of that lip balm in prison.
We got a super from AKA the Cat Lady. Thank you.
Okay, look at it.
I think they should get someone to explain how polycarbonate works.
They will. This new expert will.
Brian
Didn't
does
they
it
put
all the
Han Solo
time.
in polycarbonate?
What's that?
In Empire Strikes Back.
Hey,
Polycarbonate.
are you a big Star Trek fan, Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
What's Yoda's last name?
Yoda.
His last name?
It's just Yoda.
No.
He's like Madonna.
No. You don't know it? You don't know it?
No.
Yodel-hee-hoo.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I was going to fall for that stupid shit. Yodel he who.
We've got
Oh,
a
my gosh.
we got a super from Julie. Would love for you all to look into the case of Natalie Garcia in Kansas City to raise awareness for kids after they're adopted from foster care.
Okay.
Write that one down,
Garcia.
Gonzo.
I'll get it.
I got it.
Natalie Garcia. We've got a super from Kelly. If Chloe bit, you must quit. Hi, handsomes and beautiful. I think they're calling me beautiful.
Sure.
I think they need to show Barros the picture of the taillight and ask if this is the same
Yep.
condition he saw it in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
Got a few new members. Sandra Beatles fan.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Misty, welcome.
Mitzi.
Again,
Welcome.
don't forget to
Misty.
go
Thank
to
you.
the member tab in the on our YouTube channel to
Yes,
see
you gotta
behind
swipe.
the scenes.
You got to swipe up top and hit
Yep.
members.
Yeah.
Lots of good, funny videos.
Michael Martin, I have one lingering question from the first trial that I hope the answer in the second one was it snowing. I think that's a
good question.
sarcasm sign. Lori Lori could
Loudly,
loudly realistically
realistically-
be called as a witness.
I don't know. That's a question for.
That's a question for Melanie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so.
I will say
I don't
no
think
because
so.
you have client
Yeah,
lawyer
he's a lawyer,
privilege and
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I would say no.
Beautiful Disaster's back. I think the feds are sitting back to let the CW dig themselves a deeper
Themselves a
hole.
deeper hole. They could.
Because
Yeah.
they might not get intervened because they might just sink their own ship.
Yeah.
You know,
That is true.
and
That is
if
true
they
too.
think that they're going to pull it over on Karen Reed, they're going to say, Trump card, badoosh.
Yeah. 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 Good.
Super from Uncle Fredo. Why was it so urgent to remove the taillight at 4:15 p.m. that day? Think about
Still
it.
dark.
We all know why.
Still dark.
Yeah, we all know why.
Well, it's going to get dark anyway.
Edward Kirkpatrick. Less snow in the morning. CPD did not find the shoe.
Yep.
That's because his other
There's
shoe
a-
was in the house.
A lot less snow.
Auntie Bev, squeaky wheels. Super, why would you guys have kicked in the door to 34 Fairview in Brooklyn? We would have kicked in the door to search for additional victims. Sorry, guys. Worry about a
For
warrant
additional
later.
victims. Worried about the warrant later. It's hard to say definitively yes or no at
Yeah.
this time. We'd have to be in the moment and
Right.
feel it. Is it possible? Yeah.
We would have definitely gone in the house just to do a safety sweep,
We would
especially
have-
if we would have had information that he was in that house.
Yeah, we would have gotten into that house and we would have gone
Make
more
sure
than
there's
just
no
the
more
foyer.
dead people in there.
Yes, we
or
would have
unalive.
swept the entire house and we would have seen the basement, and we all think that's probably where stuff
Yeah.
occurred. So
Yeah.
We got a milestone for Piney Woods. 4 months.
Let's go.
Hey, all. Love
nice.
this panel. Melanie, I know lyrics.
Whoa, that's deep right there. Grateful Dead lyrics.
Mhm. She's a
See-
deadhead.
See, that's deep. Grateful Dead, deep.
Deep.
Get, put it together. That's deep. 6 feet under deep.
Oh.
Damn, you gotta catch up with me, son.
Hard
in
Plastic
slow
and
mo today
Static
for Gonzo's
mannequin Adam Handful is back with a super. Now that the defense received a new video that the Lexus was originally backed in, the 24-mile-per-hour key cycle is from the car being backed off the tow truck.
Tow truck.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I think this new expert that's gonna be coming in is gonna blow shit out of the water.
Man, I hope he does. Or she does. I hope they do.
Just like Battleship.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle wants to know, or states, I love this collab today. Off topic, what is your favorite steakhouse in Vegas? Well, it's got to be Outback, right? Love Outback.
Fleming. Fleming is the best steakhouse.
Fleming's pretty
I've been
good.
to
I've
so far.
I've eaten at Bavette's. Bavette's is really good.
Oh, is it?
At Park, yeah.
Which one?
It's very good, yeah. Bavette's.
Bavette's.
The
Yeah.
Vet.
Bavette.
Bavette's with a B.
B.
Bavette's.
I thought you said the Vets. I'm like, what kind of steak are they serving at the Vets?
Bavette's.
Yeah.
Fleming's. It's the best steak I've had so far.
Yeah, Fleming's is good.
Mhm.
Icy Duck said that Brian looks like a young Kiefer. OMG
Whoa.
Sutherland. We keep hearing the 24 theme song.
Atta
Really?
boy.
Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah, I see it.
Eh,
A young.
if I take
Kiefer
off my
Sutherland. You
glasses.
saying I look old?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? You're saying I look old? Like
Yeah.
an
No,
old?
your young version of it.
Oh. It's
That's
acceptable.
good. That's good. That's good.
Thank you.
Barbie's 2
Keep
bits
Sutherland
gifted
looking-
10
Yep.
memberships. Thank you, Barbies.
Lost Boys.
Thank you, Barbie. Yeah, Lost Boys, great movie.
Piney Woods. Melanie, my friends and I play. Well, sorry, Melanie's gone. My friends and I play what's called Lyrics Game. You should play with us.
Whoa,
Lyrics.
that's a
game.
challenge that the gauntlet has been thrown. Melanie, accept it.
I'm pretty good with lyrics. Pretty good.
NCSHP is back. Wow, $49 an hour in Vegas. I made 68 my last 2 years an hour.
Were you a sergeant though?
How big's your department?
Yeah. How big?
Because smaller departments make more money than
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah. Sergeants make that about actually. Yeah, sergeants. Yeah, about $70 an hour. 60, $70 an hour.
Felicia, do you have a process for dealing with sovereign citizens? Also, my hubby is a Dream Theater fan too.
Nice.
Nice.
Love Dream Theater. Dream
That's
Theater
nice.
is awesome.
Yes, go.
Do we have a problem or a process with dealing with sovereign citizens?
I've never had any problems with them.
I have.
I've never had any problems.
Diplomatic immunity.
I have.
No.
But the one guy I had, he had warrants. So I yanked him out through his window, out of the car, and hooked him up and arrested him.
That's the way to deal with them.
That was one way. That's how I dealt with him. Yeah, I don't recognize your authority. And I said, well, the Supreme Court recognizes my
you're about
authority, and
to.
they don't recognize your sovereign citizenship.
Yep.
So the court's going to back me, not you.
Yep.
And you got warrants.
Let's go. Click, clack, get in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Sandy RN super chat. Thank you. It's a tramstick job. Then we get to try and save the ones they bring us. We grieved with them.
Yep. She's a nurse, so she knows.
She's seen it.
She knows. Yep. She knows. Thank you, Callie.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, for the supers. Amy's Positive Pathways is a mental health therapist. We have therapists and recommend therapy to everyone to have an unbiased person to speak to.
There you go. Yep.
Just gotta have the courage to do it.
Yeah, you just gotta step up and say, you know what? I can't do it alone.
Yep.
I need some help.
Lisa Gibney's been a member for 4 months and says this is a great show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for 4 months of membership.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you.
WW was a member for 4 months as well. The feds will go after perjury. State tends not to. Higgins lying to a Fed grand jury has a decent chance of having consequences, in theory.
Oh, good.
I hope
There you
so.
go. I hope so too. Yeah.
Blessed in Texas, even better than Burt's Bees is New Love Chappies. I love the brown sugar, cleaner ingredients than
Really?
Burt's. And there's the website. New Love Goat Milk
You know,
products.
I think one of my daughters has used that New Love. I'll try it.
New love.
Especially brown sugar.
Better than old love.
Sounds delicious.
San Fran says, well, this is a question for Melanie. We apologize. She wanted to know if Melanie thought the defense will have more to say about the verdict from this trial.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the defense, Melanie said the defense is going to do a bigger job this time.
Deep dive into it.
Yeah, deep dive into it this time. So,
Jimmy Birch, CW have filed a motion for sanctions in that face.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Thank you for the super chat. And Piney Woods, y'all, I was a trial lawyer for 30 plus years. If you ever want a trial lawyer's viewpoint, Texas and Louisiana.
Copy that.
all right.
Duly
Piney
noted.
Woods And,
Duly noted.
uh-huh.
And we got a super checker from Mrs. Bucket.
Let's
And
go.
I didn't get to see it, so I don't know what it is. Oh, it says nope. Super sticker says nope. And then Lillian's been a member for 4 months. Hi from Sweden.
Thank you. Hello, Sweden.
Hashtag
Lillian.
Bank and Decline are both new members. Thank you for
Let's
joining.
go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And with that, guys, I am caught up.
All right.
Wow. That was a very successful little interview with her. Huh?
All right. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Well, actually, I got a few more things too. But Andy Bev Squeaky Wheels sent a super just now. Do you guys know Dr. Mike Brown and his wife? He was an ER doctor at Sunrise. Mike was a hell of a guy and a firefighter.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We've got a couple Venmos.
We took all of our people to UMC.
Yeah. Yeah. Cops here in Vegas, if you get shot or injured, you go to one place, UMC Trauma.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That's if the public as well gets shot, injured, or stabbed.
Correct.
They all get transported to UMC.
Well, now
because of
Sunrise is now a trauma center.
trauma
too.
center now.
But
Back
UMC,
then.
University Medical Center, is the best one. Yeah.
What do you got, Steve?
We got a Venmo, $10 Venmo from Justin Green, LV Cops and Melanie Little. What a great combination.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also a $25 Venmo from Lori Hamilton. Live with Melanie. That's what she said. So thank you, Lori.
Yeah, if you
Thank you,
guys
Lord.
later on catch her show, go ahead and jump over there and pop in.
Yeah. Melanie is awesome. Yep.
And I want to share
Oh, yeah. Okay.
a couple photos we got. This is from Blessed, Texas. Leah.
Nice.
Rocking her Cop Daddy shirt.
Cop Daddy shirt.
Go.
Yep. And Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob on X sporting the new sleek hoodie.
Yeah,
Nice.
boy.
So
Put that to use. I like it.
That's
Yeah.
put to use. That's a working man's hoodie right there. I like it.
Absolutely love my gear. Looks nice, feels great, and fits.
Yeah. Well, you can work in LV Cops TV gear. You don't have to just dress to impress.
That's not GQ
Like me,
attire.
Like I'm dressed to impress today.
Okay.
But I need to, I could go outside and dig ditches in this. And it'd be okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
What?
You said
now I'm all
ditches.
caught up.
I dig it.
I dig it. I am slow today. I'm tired.
Now I'm all caught up. So that's a good show, guys.
Yeah.
Your dog is so cute. I want one. Cops Melanie. I can actually read the chat this time. It's actually nice. Usually I never even get to see it.
I know.
Nina. Hello. Weston, Texas. Your dog is so cute. It is a cute dog.
Well, boys.
If
wrap.
snow's coming, you need to get yourself a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Like mine. I have the LV Cops hoodie.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's thick.
What,
it's actually.
What
it's
did the
actually awesome.
groundhog do? Did he see himself or not?
I don't know.
Mm.
Groundhog's Day? I don't know.
Mm.
And then, of course, this is the LV Cops Under Armour jacket, which is a light jacket. It's actually really nice. I like this.
All right, guys. Well,
That's a wrap,
That's
boys.
it.
I'm gonna jump off and let you guys wrap
right.
up. Thank you,
Cool.
mods. Thank you, Melanie, and of course everyone joining us live and on replay. We appreciate you.
Yep, we do.
And
Hit that badoosh button. Hit that badoosh button.
Hit that like button.
Yep, hit the
Sharon
badoosh.
is Karen, people.
Sharon is Karen. Don't
is
be scared. It's just a button.
If you
And,
care for
I'm out.
Karen, share for Karen.
Share for Karen.
If you care
Karen is Sharon.
if you care for Sharon, share for
Karen.
Karen.
What are you guys smoking? Hey, have a great weekend, everybody.
Right? If you
Yes.
like Karen, then Sharon is Karen.
Sharon is Karen. Play on words.
It makes sense in my head.
I will accept it.
All right.
I will accept it. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your Saturday afternoon. Thank you, Melanie, for joining us. Melanie is awesome.
Yep.
As you guys know, you guys all pretty much all know her, but
Yep. She's a good girl.
want to get to know her a little bit more today, and we'll have her again on probably after the second trial.
Yeah, when
it
it starts rocking.
yeah,
It
if we
starts
get-
rocking.
Yeah, if we get to there. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah.
All the members, all the new members, everybody that gifted stuff. We really, really appreciate it.
The
more
new
than
members
you-
go to the new members tab so you can look at some stuff.
Make sure you hit the members, the videos, because there's a lot of funny stuff there, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So make sure you watch the one with Case of the Giggles. That's a good one.
Mhm.
So thank you for joining us. Thanks for watching.
And for those still
Difference in someone's life. Stay classy, Las Vegas.
and the world, always. Yeah. Yeah. Give me a water.
1 Sam 5 and 1 Sam 6, copy of 425 call.
Copy. 1 Sam 5 en route.
1 Sam 6, copy, en route.